Jareth Hallam is yet to set a time in this practice session, with just under 57 minutes left on the clock.
Plenty of time, but you still want to get that initial feel for the track as early as possible.
And Nigel Walters also yet to register a lap time as the clock ticks down, 56 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in this session. Jareth Hallam still without a time, 55 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock now. Daniel Kochish, another driver still waiting to set a lap time here, with 55 minutes and 14 seconds remaining.
They might be making some early setup changes, or perhaps just waiting for a clearer track. Sometimes it pays to be patient.
Daniel Holland now added to the list of those without a recorded lap, 54 minutes and 42 seconds left in practice.
You often see this. Some teams have a very specific run plan, not necessarily rushing out. They know what they want to achieve with each set of tires.
Martin Mull, also yet to get a time on the board with 54 minutes and 10 seconds still remaining.
It's always a balance in practice. You want track time, but you also don't want to burn through your tire allocation unnecessarily early.
Daniel Holland, still waiting to see a time from him as the clock ticks down to 53 minutes and 38 seconds.
Sometimes you just want to let the track rubber in a bit more, too. Conditions can improve significantly over a session.
Nigel Walters, also yet to set a time, 53 minutes and 6 seconds left on the practice session clock. And there it is, the first time of the session. Jareth Hallam clocks in at 355.484, putting him straight into provisional P1.
That's what you want early on, just get a banker lap in. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it builds confidence and gives the engineers data.
Adam Tiaz is still to set a lap time with 52 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in this practice session. Daniel Kocic, another driver we're still waiting on for a lap time, 51 minutes and 30 seconds left in practice. Thomas Kruger Dorado, no time on the board yet, as we count down to just under 51 minutes remaining.
Some teams just don't like to show their hand too early. They'll be out there, doing installation laps, checking systems, but not pushing for a time.
Daniel Kocic still waiting to post a time, 50 minutes and 25 seconds left in the session. Jareth Hallam improving on his own best time, a 3:54.232, solidifying his provisional P1 as we approach the 50-minute mark. Daniel Holland, still without a time, now with 49 minutes and 21 seconds left in practice.
It's interesting to see these different strategies unfold. Some drivers are clearly focused on longer runs or specific setup changes before chasing a quick lap.
Adam Tia is still to record a lap time, 49 minutes and 7 seconds on the clock. Martin Mole, another driver holding out, 48 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this practice session. Daniel Holland, still no time from him, 47 minutes and 40 seconds left on the board. Nigel Walters, still yet to set a lap time with 47 minutes and 32 seconds left.
You know, some drivers really value getting a good, clear run. If traffic's an issue, they might just wait for a better window.
Daniel Kocic, another one still to record a time, 47 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock. Martin Mole, no time yet as we tick past the 46.5-minute mark. Nigel Walters, still without a time, 46 minutes and 16 seconds remain in this session.
It can be frustrating when you're in the garage waiting. You just want to be out there getting a feel for the car, but the engineers have a plan.
Jamie Price, another driver we're keeping an eye on, still to set a time, 45 minutes and 44 seconds remaining. And Adam T is finally on the board. A 4:02.770 puts him into P2, 7 seconds behind Hallam.
Good to see him out there. That first lap is always about shakedown, making sure everything feels right. Now he can start pushing.
Greg Sabo is also yet to set a lap time with 44 minutes and 40 seconds left in practice.
Every team has their own schedule. Some like to get out early, others prefer to wait for the track to evolve or make initial adjustments.
Daniel Kochish still without a time, 44 minutes and 8 seconds remain in the session. Kevin Simon also yet to register a lap time as the clock continues to tick down, 43 minutes and 36 seconds remaining.
It's all part of the game. Some drivers are out there doing aero runs, others are just testing brake bias. Not every lap is about pure pace in practice.
Still no lap time for Daniel Kochish with 43 minutes and 4 seconds left on the clock. Thomas Kruger Dorado posts his first time, a 3:59.252, slotting him into P2. Philip Kunz, another name we're waiting to see on the timing screens, with exactly 42 minutes left.
This is where the teams really start to gather data. You want to validate your simulator work, see how the car feels in real-world conditions.
Jamie Price still to set a time, 41 minutes and 27 seconds left in this practice session.
Sometimes, especially in the early stages, it's about checking every system on the car after installation. You don't want any surprises when you're really pushing.
Nigel Walters, still without a time, now under 41 minutes left in practice. Martin Mull, also yet to get a lap time on the board, 40 minutes and 23 seconds left. Phil Bodkin is another driver still waiting to set a lap time as we dip below the 40-minute mark. It's a lovely day for racing here at Spa-Francorchamps _THR 1966 as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Jareth Hallam still holding strong at the top of the standings with his 3:54.232, 38 minutes and 47 seconds left.
That's a good benchmark. He's set a solid lap, and now the others know what they're chasing if they want to match his early pace.
Kevin Simon, no time on the board from him yet, with 38 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Thomas Kruger Dorado improves his time, a 3:58.660, still holding P2. Greg Sabo is still to set a lap time with 37 minutes and 29 seconds left in the session. Nigel Walters, still without a time, now under 37 minutes left in practice. Adam Tiaz is currently sitting in P5 with his 4:02.770, as the session enters its final 36.5 minutes. John Buntakis, another driver we're waiting to see on the timing screen, 35 minutes and 52 seconds left. Greg Sabo is still to set a lap time with 35 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Nigel Walters, still without a recorded lap, 34 minutes and 48 seconds left in this practice session.
It's always a bit of a gamble. Do you go out early and risk track evolution, or wait and risk not getting enough clean laps?
Adam T is now down to P6, his 4:02.770 lap time being eclipsed by other drivers. Phil Botkin on the board now with a 3:59.378, slotting him into P3, a strong first showing.
That's a decent first effort. It shows he's found a rhythm quickly, and that's key in practice. You don't want to be fighting the car.
Jamie Price still to record a time, 33 minutes and 43 seconds left in the session. Mac McFarquhar also yet to register a lap time as the practice session continues, 33 minutes and 11 seconds remaining.
Some teams focus on different things in practice, especially early on. Perhaps a longer run to test tire degradation, rather than a single flying lap.
Jareth Hallam's 3:54.232 still the benchmark, holding P1 with 32 minutes and 39 seconds to go. John Buntakis, still no time on the board from him, 32 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. Jamie Price still to set a time, 31 minutes and 34 seconds left in this practice session.
It's possible they're focusing on some specific setup changes in the garage, taking their time before committing to a run. Neil Constable Barry is another driver still to post a time, 31 minutes and 2 seconds remaining.
Daniel Holland finally posts a time, a 4:01.773, putting him into P5. Mac McFarquhar still yet to register a lap time with just over 30 minutes left in this practice session.
You always want to get out there and get a feel, but sometimes the car needs more extensive changes. It's a delicate balance.
Dominic Fauvard, another driver we're waiting to see on the timing screens, 29 minutes and 35 seconds left.
This phase of practice is often about ticking boxes on a checklist. Aerodynamic tests, brake bias, engine mapping, it's all crucial.
Phil Bodkin remains in P3 with his 3:59.378, a solid early marker. Thomas Kruger Dorado still in P2 with his 3:58.660, as we dip into the final 28.5 minutes. Jimmy Lindo, another driver still without a time, 27 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in practice.
Sometimes you just want to see how the track evolves before you go out on new tires. It can make a big difference to your lap time.
Thomas Kruger Dorado continues to hold P2 with his 3:58.660, 27 minutes and 27 seconds left on the clock. Chris Stokes, yet to register a lap time, 26 minutes and 55 seconds left in this practice session.
It's always a bit of a waiting game for some teams. They might be waiting for other cars to put rubber down or for specific atmospheric conditions.
Adam Tia is now pushed down to P7, his 4:02.770 lap time being surpassed.
This is where the times really start to tumble. More drivers are getting into their rhythm and the track is getting faster.
Phil Bodkin still maintaining P3 with his 3:59.378, as we get closer to the final 25 minutes. Jarrett Callum finds more pace, a 3:54.134, extending his lead at the top of the board.
He's really dialed in early. That's a strong statement of intent for the session. He's found that extra 10.
Thomas Kruger Dorado still in P2 with his 3:58.660, 24 minutes and 47 seconds remaining.
Everyone will be looking at Hallam's sector times now, trying to understand where that pace is coming from.
Niall Gagan, another driver yet to post a time, 24 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in practice. Daniel Holland now drops to P7 with his 4:01.773, as more drivers get their laps in. Adam Tias improved slightly to a 4:02.192, but he's dropped to P8.
He's finding some pace, but so is everyone else. That's the challenge in practice, staying ahead of the curve.
Greg Sabo is still to set a lap time, 22 minutes and 39 seconds left in the session.
You do start to wonder what the strategy is here. With so little time left, every lap counts.
Nigel Walters, still no time on the board from him, 22 minutes and 7 seconds left. Thomas Kruger Dorado continues to hold P2 with his 3:58.660, the gap to Hallam is still significant. Maximilian Turbin, another driver yet to post a time, 21 minutes and 3 seconds remaining. Chris Stokes, still yet to register a lap time, 20 minutes and 31 seconds left. Thomas Kruger Dorado's 358.660 keeps him in P2 as we dip below the 20-minute mark. Daniel Kochish, still no lap time from him, 19 minutes and 27 seconds left in the session.
This is getting late for a first flying lap. They might be planning just 1 or 2 hot laps, or perhaps focusing solely on race setup.
Phil Bodkin improves his time slightly to a 3:59.332, remaining in P3.
He's chipping away at it. That's the sign of a driver finding more confidence with the car and the track.
Maximilian Turbin, still no time on the board, 18 minutes and 23 seconds left.
You start to think if there's an issue in the garage, or if they're just waiting for the perfect window. Every second counts now.
Rich Snape also yet to set a time, with 17 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in practice. Elliot Norton is another driver still waiting to set a lap time, 17 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. Nigel Walters, still without a time on the board, 16 minutes and 47 seconds left.
At this point, if they haven't run, they're either really confident in their simulator work, or they've had a problem they're fixing.
Phil Bodkin drops to P4, his 3:59.332 now a little off the pace of the top three.
The track is rubbering in, and other drivers are finding their rhythm. He'll need to find some more time to climb back up.
Kevin Simon posts his first time, a 3:59.717, putting him into P6.
Finally on the board, that's a decent start, gives him a baseline to work from for the rest of the session.
Adam T is now down to P10 with his 4:02.192 as the times continue to tumble. Phil Bodkin remains in P4, his 3:59.332 holding strong for now. Elliot Norden, still no time register from him, with just over 14 minutes left.
He's really cutting it fine. You need at least a couple of laps to get a feel, even if it's just for system checks.
Jamie Price on the board now with a 4:04.538, placing him in P13.
He's out there, that's what matters. Now he can start building up the pace, learning the track and what the car wants.
Nigel Walters, still without a time, now under 13 minutes left in practice. Greg Sabo is still to set a lap time with 12 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Dominic Fovard, still no time on the board, 11 minutes and 58 seconds left.
This is a real head scratcher. You'd expect everyone to have at least an installation lap by now.
Nigel Walters, still yet to register a time as we get closer to the final 11 minutes. Elliot Norden, still no lap time from him, 10 minutes and 54 seconds remain. Dominic Fovard, still without a time with 10 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock. David Constable Barry posts his first time, a 4:00.214, placing him in P9. Rich Snape also yet to set a time with 9 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in practice. David Constable Barry drops to P10 with his 4:00.214, as others continue to find pace.
He'll be looking to respond now. That's the challenge in a live session, the goalposts keep moving.
Kevin Simon is now in P8 with his 3:59.717 as the session winds down. Chris Stokes still yet to register a lap time with just over 8 minutes left.
It's very unusual to see this many drivers without a time this late in practice. There must be some shared strategy or a technical reason.
David Constable Barry still in P10 with his 4:00.214, as we approach the final 7.5 minutes.
He's got to find some more pace if he wants to make an impression. The field is getting tighter now.
Neil Constable Barry posts his first time, a 4:02.981, placing him in P15. Rich Snape on the board now with a 4:00.657, slotting him into P12. Elliot Norton with a lightning-fast first lap. A 3:56.613 puts him into P3.
Wow, that's how you make an entrance. Straight into the top 3. He certainly wasn't waiting around.
Jareth Hallam responds immediately. Another improvement, a 3:53.758, solidifying his lead in P1.
He heard that. That's his strong statement. He's not letting anyone get close to his top spot.
Maximilian Turbin finally sets a lap, a 4:03.148, placing him in P16.
He's on the board, but he's got a lot of work to do in these final few minutes to find any real pace.
Maximilian Turbin remains in P16 with his 4:03.148, very little time left now. Nigel Walters, still no lap time on the board with just 4 minutes and 33 seconds left.
He might not even get a proper flying lap in at this rate. It's a very unusual strategy, or perhaps a problem.
Rich Snape still in P12 with his 4 o'clock .657 as the clock winds down.
He'll be pushing hard for an improvement on this final run, trying to extract everything he can.
Thomas Kruger Dorado now drops to P5 with his 358.660. The field is really tightening up.
He needs to find something extra. Those behind him are improving, and he's starting to lose ground.
Daniel Holland improves to a 359.777, moving him up to P9. Dominic Fovard, still without a time with just 2 minutes and 51 seconds remaining. Jimmy Lindo posts a strong 357.891, slotting him into P4. Thomas Kruger Dorado still in P5 with his 358.660, with under 2 minutes left. Martin Mole with a late charge, a 354.089, good enough for P2.
What a lap. He's been quiet all session, and then he pulls it out. That's a serious statement of intent.
Phil Bodkin is now in P8 with his 359.332, just seconds remaining. Adam T is down in P16 with his 402.192, as we tick down to the final seconds. Martin Mull holding on to P2 with his 354.089, just 7 seconds left on the clock now.
He's made his mark at the very end of the session. That's a great way to finish, with a strong time.
Jareth Hallam's 353.758 still leads the way in P1 as we head into the final 39 seconds of this practice session. Thomas Kruger Dorado remains in P5 with his 358.660 as the practice session rapidly draws to a close. Jareth Hallam still holds P1 with that blistering 353.758, and we're down to the final 1 minute and 43 seconds.
He's been consistently fast all session. He'll be very happy with that benchmark heading into qualifying.
Philip Kunz finally posts a time, a 359.188, slotting him into P8 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left.
That's a good first lap for him, getting himself into the top 10, but he's left it very late to make any further improvements.
Daniel Kochish still no lap time on the board with just 2 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in practice.
It's really surprising to see him not having a time. Perhaps a mechanical issue that kept him sidelined.
Dominic Fovard still without a time, now with just 3 minutes and 13 seconds left in the session.
He's really cutting it fine. It's highly unlikely he'll get a representative flying lap in now.
Thomas Kruger Dorado now in P7 with his 358.660 as the clock ticks down to the final 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
He's being pushed further down the order. The track's faster, and others are finding their rhythm. He needs to find another gear.
Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps 1966. The qualifying session is moments away, and the atmosphere is absolutely electric.
This circuit, even back then, truly separated the brave from the rest. And with that wind at 8, every corner will demand absolute precision and commitment.
Qualifying is well underway, and we're looking at 5 minutes and 36 seconds remaining. Still no registered time for Jimmy Lindo as he heads out on track.
As the clock ticks down, we're seeing other drivers starting to set their markers. Thomas Kruger Dorado will be looking to get his first flying lap in quickly with 5:16 on the clock.
With 4 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in this session, Greg Sabo is yet to post a time. He'll need to find some clear air and get a lap in soon. Time is starting to become a factor now, just over 4 minutes left. Daniel Kochish still needs to get a lap on the board.
In a session this short, you can't afford any mistakes on that first run. You want to get that banker lap in, then push for more.
Early days in qualifying, with 5 minutes and 56 seconds remaining. Daniel Kochish is out on track but hasn't set a time yet.
He'll be looking to warm those tires, get a feel for the circuit in these conditions, and then really start to push. It's a short session, but there's still time.
5 minutes and 39 seconds left on the clock for this qualifying session. Mac McFarquhar is out there, yet to register a lap time.
He'll be wanting to put the power down and get a clean run in. That first flying lap is crucial for building confidence.
Phil Bodkin is out on track now, pushing hard to set a time. We've got 5 minutes and 22 seconds left in qualifying. Maximilian Turbin is another driver yet to post a time, with just 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this short session.
He really needs to get a clean run in now. With the wind, it's about being smooth and precise to carry that speed. Less than 4 minutes and 20 seconds now, and Mac McFarquhar is still without a registered lap time. The pressure is mounting. With 3 minutes and 46 seconds to go, John Boontakis is still without a time. He needs to get a solid lap in, and fast. You're really down to 1 or 2 shots at it now. You have to commit to every corner and hope the car stays underneath you.
Jamie Price is out on track, still pushing for a lap time with just 3 minutes and 14 seconds left in qualifying. Less than 3 minutes to go now, 2 minutes 42 seconds remaining. Kevin Simon is still without a registered time. This is getting critical.
Every moment counts. He'll be trying to extract absolutely everything from the car on this next lap. No room for error.
Only 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, and Phil Botkin is still without a lap time. He's really cutting it fine here.
He needs to focus on a clean, quick lap right now. Forget pushing for the absolute perfect lap, just get a time on the board.
With 1 minute and 48 seconds on the clock, Philip Kunz is another driver who still hasn't registered a qualifying time. And Philip Kunz finally gets a time on the board, a 3:58.699. That puts him straight into provisional pole position with 2 minutes and 9 seconds left. Maximilian Turbin has indeed set a time, a 4:03.246, which currently puts him in third position with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Greg Sabo is still without a time, and the clock is really ticking down now with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left.
He needs to focus, find a clear run, and just put a solid time in. This circuit demands everything, but he can't afford to overcook it now.
Greg Sabo finally gets a time on the board, a 4:14.173, placing him in 8th position with 2 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. Adam Tiaz is still looking for a lap time, with just over 3 minutes remaining in this qualification session. A 0:100.000 for Adam Tiaz on that lap, that won't count. Still no time registered for him with 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. Kevin Simon is still without a registered lap time as we tick past the 3-minute 22-second mark in qualifying. Maximilian Turbin is out there again, currently in 10th. He's showing a minus 0.5 second delta, looking to improve on his 4:03.246.
That's a good indicator. If he keeps that pace, he's definitely going to climb up the order. He's found some speed, perhaps more confidence with the circuit now.
Maximilian Turbin completes another lap, but his best time remains 4:03.246, putting him in 11th position with 4 minutes 13 seconds remaining.
He'll be disappointed not to have improved there. Sometimes you just don't find that extra tenth, even when you feel you're pushing harder.
Welcome race fans to the historic Spa-Francorchamps 1966, where the atmosphere is electric and the wind is a definite factor today.
That 8-knot wind is going to make the high-speed sections truly challenging, especially through Eau Rouge and Blanchimont with these cars.
On the front row, in P2, it's Martin Mol from the Netherlands, a pro-class driver in the Madra M630 BRM, looking sharp.
P2 here at Spa is a prime spot to attack into La Source, but those early laps will be all about managing the pack behind.
Further back on the grid, in P4, we find Philipp Kunz from Germany, piloting the beautiful Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta, another pro driver in the mix. Just behind them in P5, it's Neil Constable Barry from the UK, also in a Matra M630 BRM, but he's an M-class driver.
P5 is a great starting spot for an AM driver, right in the thick of it but still with clear air ahead if he can get a good launch.
And down in P7, we have David Constable Barry from England, another Matra M630 BRM in the field, this one in the Pro-Am class.
P7 can be tricky at the start, you're right in the mid-pack traffic, and managing that first corner clean is vital for the Pro-Am drivers.
At P8, it's Dominic Fauvard from the UK in the iconic Shelby Daytona Coupe, a Pro-Am class contender.
The Daytona Coupe will be quick on the straights here, but Spa's corners will really test that chassis. It's a different beast to the Matras.
Next up, in P9, we have Niall Gagan from Ireland, piloting the beautiful Alfa Romeo Tipo 33, an M-class entrant.
The Tipo 33 is a fantastic car, but P9 for an AM driver, they'll be looking to hold their ground and keep it tidy through La Source.
And rounding out the top 10, in P10, it's Nick Edwards from Canada in the classic Ferrari 250 LM, a Pro-Am driver hoping to make an impression. Just outside the top 10, in P11, we have Maximilian Turbin from England, driving the sleek Porsche 910/6, another Pro-Am class entry. And in P12, we find Greg Sabo from Italy, at the wheel of a Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta, an M-class driver who will be looking to climb through the field. Down in P14, it's Kevin Simon from Germany, driving the Porsche 910/6, a Pro-Am class driver looking to make up ground.
P14 gives you a bit more space, but you're still surrounded by cars looking for an early advantage. The trick is to stay clean and pick your moments.
At the back of the grid, in P16, we have Adam Tias from the United Kingdom, in the Matra M630 BRM, an M-Class driver.
P16 is always tough, you're starting deep in the pack. The strategy will be to survive the first lap and find some rhythm.
And the lights are out. We are green at Spa-Francorchamps, and the field charges down to La Source. Early mover, or perhaps not, David Constable Barry has dropped 2 places from P7 down to P9 on his opening lap.
Dropping places at the start can happen so easily, especially when you're in that mid-pack. It's about recovering now and not letting it rattle you.
Good start for Kevin Simon though, up 2 spots from P14 to P12, making progress early on. And Kevin Simon, who started in P14, is now up to P12, a solid gain in these opening moments.
Moving up 2 spots in the first lap is excellent. It shows he's taken advantage of any gaps and kept his nose clean.
More trouble for David Constable Barry, he's dropped further, now down to P10 from his P7 starting spot. David Constable Barry continues to lose ground, now P10 after starting P7, a tough start for him.
3 places lost already, that's a difficult opening lap to absorb. He'll need to regroup quickly and find some pace.
What an opening lap for Jamie Price. Up from P24 all the way to P13, that's an incredible 11 positions gained.
11 places in the first lap? That's exceptional driving. You have to be aggressive, but also so precise to find that many gaps without any contact.
We're now focusing on Daniel Holland in P12, trailing Mac McFarquhar by 0.7 seconds, who is just ahead in P11. Huge changes for Daniel Holland. They've gained a position and are now in P11, with Mac McFarquhar dropping to P15, now 15.5 seconds behind. Switching our focus to Jareth Hallam in P8, just 0.2 seconds off Nick Edwards in P7, setting up for a battle. Jareth Hallam has made the move. They're now up to P7, with Nick Edwards dropping to P8 and just 0.1 seconds behind.
That was a swift overtake, showing great confidence early on. Now it's about defending that position and breaking the toe.
Now we're with Chris Stokes in P6, hunting down Dominic Fobart, who's just 0.3 seconds ahead in P5. Chris Stokes is still in P6, but the gap to Dominic Fobart has stretched slightly to 0.6 seconds. Now, let's check in with Daniel Holland in P12, with Rich Snape just 0.5 seconds ahead in P11.
That half-second gap is nothing around here. We could see a move coming very soon, especially into the bus stop chicane.
Daniel Holland has lost another spot, now in P13, and the gap to Rich Snape, who is now P11, has ballooned to 3.1 seconds.
That's a significant loss of time in a very short period. Something must have happened for him to drop back and lose that much ground, or perhaps a rival found some unexpected pace.
Down the order now, with Greg Sabo in P16, battling to close the 0.9 second gap to Elliot Norton in P15. Greg Sabo has gained a position, now in P15, but the gap to Elliot Norton in P14 remains 0.9 seconds.
He's made up a spot, which is good, but that gap to the next car is still consistent. It suggests he's not quite able to break that toe yet.
Now with Nigel Walters in P11 into lap 2, chasing Rich Snape who's P10, 2.8 seconds up the road.
2.8 seconds is a fair chunk of time to make up on this circuit, but with a good rhythm, it's certainly possible. That last lap time for Walters isn't bad.
Elliot Norton has pulled into the pits. A very early stop for the P16 driver on only lap 1.
Pitting on lap 1 usually means a problem or an aggressive strategy. It's very unusual to see a scheduled stop this early.
Back to Jareth Hallam in P7, now chasing Dominic Fauvargue in P6. The gap is 0.6 seconds. Jareth Hallam has gained another position, now up to P6, but Dominic Fauvargue is still ahead in P5 by 0.6 seconds.
He's made a great move to get ahead there, but the gap to the next car is identical. It means he's matching the pace, but not quite breaking away yet.
Greg Sabo is currently in P14, trying to reel in Daniel Kocic in P13, who's 4.7 seconds up the road. Greg Sabo has dropped 2 more positions, now P16, but he's closed the gap slightly to Daniel Kocic in P13, now 2.2 seconds. Now with Phil Bodkin in P15, pushing hard to close the 0.4 second gap to Nick Edwards in P14. Phil Bodkin has passed Nick Edwards. Now P14, with Edwards right on his tail, a gap of absolutely nothing. What an opening to this race. These early laps at Spa are always so intense, the drivers really pushing the limits.
Oh, they are. You're trying to gain every inch, but one mistake here and it's a huge consequence. I remember trying to thread the needle through Eau Rouge on lap 1, it's a real test of nerve.
Absolutely, and we saw some incredible gains, particularly from Jamie Price, making up 11 spots in that first lap.
That's truly outstanding. To find that many clean lines and make passes without losing momentum, it requires fantastic spatial awareness and a lot of confidence in the car.
Then there's the early pit stop from Elliot Norton, just a few minutes ago. That was certainly unexpected.
Yeah, that's almost certainly a problem with the car. You don't come in that early unless you absolutely have to, either an issue with the setup or perhaps a puncture they can risk.
We're with Nigel Walters now, in P12, trying to close down the 1.2 second gap to Kevin Simon in P11.
Walters is certainly on a charge, but he'll need to find a bit more pace to reel in Simon before he loses too much time to the leaders.
Nigel Walters remains in P12, but the gap to Kevin Simon in P11 has widened slightly to 1.4 seconds. Now checking in with Nick Edwards, down in P16, attempting to catch Daniel Holland in P15, a 0.6 second difference between them. Nick Edwards has gained a spot, now P15, and is closing on Daniel Holland in P14. The gap now just 0.3 seconds. Martin Mull continues in a strong P2 on lap 2, maintaining a 3.7 second lead over Neil Constable-Barry in P3, with a solid 4:01.230 last lap.
That's a very consistent pace from Mull. He's managing that gap well, staying clear of any immediate pressure from behind.
Now following Phil Bodkin in P14, just 0.3 seconds behind Daniel Kocic in P13, a very tight battle unfolding there. Phil Bodkin is still in P14, but he's now glued to the back of Daniel Kocic in P13, the gap is absolutely nothing.
He's right there. Bodkin is just waiting for the opportunity to make a move. He'll be looking at the next braking zone or straight for an advantage.
Down to Daniel Holland in P16, running just 0.1 seconds behind Nick Edwards in P15, a very close fight at the back. Daniel Holland is still P16, but the gap to Nick Edwards in P15 has slightly increased to 0.2 seconds. Following Phil Bodkin on lap 2, still in P14, now 1.0 second behind Daniel Kocic in P13, with his best lap so far a 4:07.666. Phil Bodkin remains P14, still a 1.0 second gap to Daniel Kocic in P13, holding steady there. Now focused on Chris Stokes in P4, right on the tail of Neil Constable-Berry in P3, just 0.1 seconds separates them.
This is going to be a fantastic fight for that podium spot. Stokes has just set a blistering 3:56.658, he's clearly got the pace.
Chris Stokes is still in P4, the gap to Neil Constable-Berry in P3 has grown slightly to 0.2 seconds, but still very much on.
He's still applying the pressure. Sometimes those gaps fluctuate due to traffic or a slight misjudgment, but he'll keep pushing for that overtake.
Daniel Holland in P16 is now trailing Nick Edwards in P15 by 0.8 seconds on lap 2. Daniel Holland is still P16, but the gap to Nick Edwards in P15 has now grown to 1.5 seconds, that's a significant increase.
Yeah, something's not quite right there. That's a lot of time to lose to a rival in such a short space, perhaps a small error on one of the corners.
Chris Stokes in P4 now has a 0.8 second buffer over Jareth Hallam in P5, consolidating his position. Huge progress for Chris Stokes. He's moved up to P3, and Jareth Hallam is now 2 places behind him in P5, with the gap extending to 1.4 seconds.
That's an excellent move into a podium position. He's found some real pace to not only make the pass but then pull away from his rival so quickly.
Now with Neil Constable-Berry in P4, holding a 0.6 second advantage over Jareth Hallam in P5, on his second lap. Martin Mull in P2 is now just 0.4 seconds off the leader, Jimmy Lindo, on lap 3. This is getting tight at the front. Martin Mull has taken the lead. He's now P1, with Jimmy Lindo right on his tail, absolutely no gap between them. Wow, what a move from Martin Mull, taking the lead from Jimmy Lindo, and now the pressure is truly on.
That's the ultimate test, isn't it? To not just make the pass, but then to immediately have someone right on your gearbox. You can't afford a single mistake now, especially at a track like Spa.
Absolutely, and we're seeing close battles throughout the field, not just at the very front. That 0.0 second gap for Mull is going to keep him on his toes.
When you're leading with a car that close, you're constantly checking your mirrors, trying to predict where they might attack, while also focusing on hitting every apex perfectly. It's mentally exhausting.
The wind conditions could play a factor in that too, making it even harder to judge those slipstream battles.
For sure, a slight gust at the wrong moment through a fast corner can really unsettle the car, and if you're defending, that's the last thing you need.
Jimmy Lindo, now in P2, is still hot on the heels of Martin Mull, 0.5 seconds the gap, on lap 3.
He's keeping the pressure on. That half-second gap is nothing for Mull to get comfortable with. Lindo will be looking for any opportunity.
Jimmy Lindo is still P2, but the gap to Martin Mull in P1 has now extended slightly to 0.9 seconds. Now with Phil Bodkin in P15, just 0.3 seconds adrift of Nick Edwards in P14, on lap 3. Phil Bodkin remains P15, but Nick Edwards in P14 has pulled out a lead, now 1.4 seconds ahead. We're really getting into the business end of this race now, only 5 minutes plus a lap left, and these gaps are starting to become critical.
Absolutely. When you see a gap like that, 1.4 seconds for Bodkin, that's a tough one to close down in such a short amount of time. You have to push beyond your limits.
And Martin Mole pulling out a slight lead over Jimmy Lindo at the front. That's a crucial half second he's found.
It is. Even a small buffer at Spa feels like a huge relief. It means you're not constantly defending, you can focus on hitting your marks. It's a psychological advantage as much as a physical one.
It makes you wonder if Lindo pushed a bit too hard trying to get the lead back and just overcooked something, or if Mole has just found another gear.
It could be either. Sometimes you just find that perfect rhythm and the car responds, or perhaps Lindo had a small moment or a slight lock-up that cost him just enough time.
Jimmy Lindo has dropped to P3, and now trails Martin Mole in P2 by a significant 2.1 seconds, a big change there.
He's really lost ground in a very short space of time. That's more than just a small error. He must have had a moment or encountered some real trouble out there to drop a position and lose that much to Mole.
Jimmy Lindo is holding P3, and he's actually clawed back some time on Martin Mole in P2. The gap is now 1.4 seconds.
He's recovering well. That shows great resilience. To lose that much time and then immediately start bringing it back down. He's not giving up on that P2 spot.
Now with Kevin Simon in P12, just 0.2 seconds off Nigel Walters in P11, a real scrap for that position.
That 0.2 second gap is effectively nothing. He's got to be planning his move, looking for any slight mistake or a good run through a fast section.
Kevin Simon has made the overtake. He's now P11, with Nigel Walters directly behind him in P12, a gap of absolutely nothing. Following Rich Snape in P10, who is trying to close the 1.6 second gap to Adam Tias in P9. Rich Snape remains in P10, and the gap to Adam Tias in P9 is unchanged at 1.6 seconds.
He's consistent, but he's not quite gaining on Tias. It suggests that both drivers are on a very similar pace right now.
Now with Nigel Walters in P12, trying to make up ground on Kevin Simon in P11, who is 0.8 seconds ahead.
He's lost a little bit of time since that last battle. He needs to find some clear air and get back into a rhythm if he wants to challenge Simon again.
Nigel Walters has gained a position, now P11, and he's closing on Kevin Simon in P10. The gap is now 0.5 seconds. Now with Rich Snape, who's moved up to P9 on lap 4, closing on Adam Tias in P8, the gap is 1.1 seconds. Rich Snape holds P9, but the gap to Adam Tias in P8 has grown to 1.5 seconds. That's a bit of a setback.
He'll be disappointed to see that gap open up. Tias must have found some extra pace or Snape just had a less than perfect sector there.
Nigel Walters remains in P11, now 0.9 seconds off Kevin Simon in P10 on lap 4, with a quick 4:01.761 last lap. Nigel Walters is still P11, but Kevin Simon in P10 has pulled away. The gap now 1.5 seconds, quite a swing. Now with Rich Snape still in P9, the gap to Adam Tias in P8 has grown to 1.7 seconds. A challenging task to close that down.
Yeah, that gap is starting to become significant now. He'll need to find something special to reel Tias back in with time ticking away.
Rich Snape is still P9, but he's just shaved a tenth off the gap to Adam Tias in P8, now 1.6 seconds, slight progress.
Every tenth counts, especially as we get closer to the end of the race. He's still pushing, which is good to see.
Nigel Walters remains in P11, and the gap to Kevin Simon in P10 has stretched to 1.8 seconds. Nigel Walters is still P11, and the gap to Kevin Simon in P10 has widened even further to 1.9 seconds. That's a tough one to swallow.
It looks like Simon has really hit his stride now, and Walters is just struggling to match that pace. That gap is getting hard to bridge.
Rich Snape in P9 has reduced the gap to Adam Tias in P8 to 1.1 seconds. He's finding some pace. Rich Snape continues to close, now only 1.0 second behind Adam Tias in P8. He's really pushing hard now.
He's definitely found another gear. That's a significant improvement in pace, and he's not giving up on that P8 spot at all.
Nigel Walters remains in P11, but the gap to Kevin Simon in P10 has stretched further to 2.1 seconds. Nigel Walters is still P11, and the gap to Kevin Simon in P10 has continued to increase, now 2.3 seconds. Rich Snape is making incredible progress, now only 0.6 seconds off Adam Tias in P8. This is going to be a nail-biter.
He's really putting the hammer down. That's a significant drop in the gap in such a short amount of time. Tias needs to be absolutely perfect if he wants to hold him off.
Rich Snape is right there. Only 0.1 seconds separates him from Adam Tias in P8. He's practically in his slipstream. Nigel Walters is now on lap 5, still in P11, with a 2.0 second gap to Kevin Simon in P10, and he's just set a new best lap of 4:00.475. Nigel Walters remains P11, and the gap to Kevin Simon in P10 is holding steady at 2.0 seconds.
He's consistent, but he needs to find a couple of tenths if he wants to start putting pressure on Simon. That best lap was good, but he needs to do it again, and faster.
Now with Rich Snape in P9, on lap 5, the gap to Adam Tias in P8 has grown back to 0.8 seconds. Rich Snape is still in P9, but he's once again closed the gap to Adam Tias in P8, now just 0.6 seconds between them.
This is a real yo-yo battle. Tias pulls away, Snape closes it down. It shows how evenly matched they are in terms of race pace.
Now with Jareth Hallam in P3 on lap 5, chasing Jimmy Lindo in P2, the gap is 1.4 seconds, and Hallam has just set his personal best of 3:56.372.
He's flying. If he can keep that pace up, he's absolutely going to be challenging Lindo for that P2 spot. That's a serious lap time for this stage of the race.
Rich Snape still holds P9 on lap 5, closing in on Adam Tias in P8 once again, the gap a mere 0.6 seconds.
This battle is relentless. Every time Tias tries to pull away, Snape just digs deep and pulls him back in. It's a fantastic show of sustained effort.
Now with Jimmy Lindo in P3, on lap 5, still 1.4 seconds behind Jareth Hallam, who's in P2, quite a fight for that position. Jimmy Lindo is still P3, but he's closed that gap to Jareth Hallam in P2 by a tenth, now 1.3 seconds, every little bit counts.
He's definitely not giving up on that podium spot. Finding those tenths shows he's pushing, and that psychological pressure might just be enough to rattle Hallam.
Rich Snape has virtually eliminated the gap. Now just 0.2 seconds off Adam Tias in P8, this is an imminent overtake. Rich Snape remains in P9, the gap to Adam Tias in P8 is still a tiny 0.2 seconds, he's just waiting for his moment.
He's keeping that pressure on, absolutely relentless. It's so hard to defend for so long when someone is right on your gearbox like that. Every corner is a challenge.
Jimmy Lindo in P3 has lost significant ground on lap 6, now 2.5 seconds behind Jareth Hallam in P2. Jimmy Lindo is still P3, but the gap to Jareth Hallam in P2 has stretched even further to 3.0 seconds. He's really struggling to match that pace now.
3 seconds is a huge swing in such a short time. He must be having some handling issues, or perhaps the tires are really starting to go off for him.
Now with Rich Snape in P9 on lap 6, still just 0.2 seconds off Adam Tias in P8, a persistent challenge.
He's keeping that pressure absolutely constant. Tias has to be feeling it in his mirrors. It's a game of brinkmanship now.
Jimmy Lindo is still P3 on lap 6, but the gap to Jareth Hallam in P2 has increased again, now 3.2 seconds. More trouble for Jimmy Lindo. He's dropped another position, now P4, and Jareth Hallam is now P3 and 4.2 seconds ahead.
He's really losing ground now. To drop another spot and lose a full second to Hallam in that short time, something's definitely amiss with that car, or his pace has fallen off dramatically.
Rich Snape has lost a position, now in P10, and the gap to Adam Tias in P9 has grown to 0.6 seconds. Rich Snape is still P10, but he's already closed down on Adam Tias in P9. The gap is now 0.3 seconds.
He's relentless. Tias just can't shake him. This is going to go right down to the wire between these two for that P9 spot.
Now with Adam Tias in P9, holding a slender 0.3 second lead over Rich Snape in P10 on lap 6. Adam Tias is still P9, but he's just opened up the gap slightly to Rich Snape in P10, now 0.5 seconds.
He's finding a little breathing room. When you've got someone that close for so long, even a couple of tenths feels like a huge relief.
Rich Snape in P10 is now 0.9 seconds adrift of Adam Tias in P9, as the battle continues into lap 6. Rich Snape is still P10, but he's closed that gap to Adam Tias in P9, now just 0.5 seconds. He's not giving up.
This is an incredible fight for P9. Every time Tias thinks he's shaken Snape off, he comes right back. It's a true test of mental fortitude for both drivers.
Martin Mull is absolutely flying, leading the race and now just 20 seconds from the checkered flag, with Daniel Holland 3.9 seconds back.
He's managed that lead perfectly. Holland is too far back to challenge now. Mull just needs to bring it home clean.
Martin Mull crosses the line. He wins the race here at Spa, taking a fantastic victory after starting from P2. And what a drive for Jareth Hallam, crossing the line in second place after starting all the way back in P23. Neil Constable Barry takes third place on the podium, a great result for him after starting in P5.
A strong, consistent drive from Constable Barry to secure that podium. He managed the race well and truly earned that spot.
And Jimmy Lindo comes home in fourth. Dominic Fauvargue finishes a solid fifth, while David Constable Barry crosses the line in 15th.
Lindo will be disappointed after running higher up, but still a good points finish, and Fauvargue did well to hold his ground for fifth. Constable Barry had a tough start but brought it home.
Thomas Kruger Dorado secures a respectable sixth position, a strong finish for him.
Sixth is a solid result, especially in a competitive field like this at Spa. It shows good race management.
Jamie Price finishes 7th after an incredible start, while Adam Tias holds off Rich Snape for 8th and 9th positions respectively.
Price's drive from P24 to 7th was truly exceptional, one of the highlights of the race. And that battle between Tias and Snape for P8 was fantastic right to the end.
Kevin Simon crosses the line in 10th position, rounding out the top 10 here at Spa.
A hard-fought top 10 finish for Simon. He had to work for that position throughout the race.
Elliot Norton finishes in 11th place, a decent recovery after that early pit stop.
Yeah, considering that early and scheduled stop, to claw his way back to P11 shows real determination and good pace. Not an easy feat.
Nick Edwards crosses the line in 12th position here at Spa-Francorchamps.
He had some close battles throughout the race, so P12 is a reasonable outcome for him.
Maximilian Turbin brings his Porsche home in 13th place.
A steady drive from Turbin, keeping it clean and consistent to finish in P13.
Welcome back to Spa-Francorchamps for what promises to be a thrilling race here in 1966. The wind a noticeable factor as the drivers are poised on the grid. On the front row, starting from P2, it's Nick Edwards in the Ferrari 250LM, a Pro-Am driver looking to make an impact today.
P2 is such a crucial spot, right on the outside. A clean run into La Source could make his race, but the pressure to hold that spot is immense.
Just behind him, in third, we have Elliot Norton from the UK, piloting the Porsche 910/6.
The Porsche 910/6 is a nimble car, and starting third at Spa, especially with that long run down to Eau Rouge, gives him a real chance to gain or hold positions early on.
Further back on the grid, in fifth, we find Rich Snape, an M-Class driver from the UK, in his Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta. Next to him on the grid, in sixth position, it's Adam Tiaz, another M-Class driver, at the wheel of the Madra M630 BRM. And on pole position, the man to beat today, it's Maximilian Turbin from England, in the Porsche 910/6. Starting from fourth on the grid, we have Kevin Simon from Germany, also in a Porsche 910/6.
3 Porsches in the top 4, that's a strong showing. Starting P4 here, just behind the front row, could be perfect for a slipstream battle early on.
Jamie Price, a Pro-Am driver, lines up in 7th position in the Ferrari Dino 206S. And rounding out our top 8 starters, in 8th position, it's Thomas Kruger Dorado from the UK, in the powerful Shelby Daytona Coupe. Jimmy Lindo, an M-Class driver, starts from 9th in his Porsche 910/6.
P9, just outside the top 8, means he'll be looking for a clean start to avoid any early race drama, but he's got good machinery.
And completing our top 10 starters, in 10th position, it's Dominic Fauvard from the UK, in the Shelby Daytona Coupe. And we are underway here at Spa, a formation lap behind the safety car to get the tires warmed up before the green flag drops. The cars are now circulating, following the safety car closely, a chance for the drivers to get a feel for the track conditions.
This is where you're really paying attention to every detail, checking the braking points, feeling for grip, making sure the tires are up to temperature before we go green.
The safety car continues to lead the field around this iconic Spa circuit.
You're really trying to scrub heat into those tires, especially with the cool conditions and that wind. Every bit of grip counts here.
The cars are strung out behind the safety car now, a beautiful sight as they navigate the legendary corners of Spa-Francorchamps.
This is the moment to really get a feel for the car, checking the steering, the brakes, making sure everything feels just right before the hammer drops.
The anticipation is building on the pit wall and in the grandstands as we await the start.
You're mentally preparing for the start sequence, visualizing that first corner and how you're going to attack it from your grid slot.
Just a few more moments now until we get the racing underway proper.
The adrenaline is really pumping at this point. You've done all the prep, now it's just about executing that perfect start.
The safety car is still out on track, ensuring everyone gets a clean run before the green flag.
You want those tires right in their operating window for the start. Too cold and you'll be sliding, too hot and you risk overheating them for the first stint.
They're making their way through the final sectors now, the safety car ready to pull in.
This is it, the final deep breath before the race begins. You're just focused on the revs and the lights at this point.
The tension is palpable as the safety car prepares to duck into the pit lane.
You're scanning the car ahead for any signs of braking or accelerating, trying to anticipate the moment the pace car pulls off.
And the safety car is now heading for the pits. The field bunches up.
Okay, this is it. Everyone is on edge, getting ready for the start now, watching the leader like a hawk.
The lead car is now setting the pace, waiting for the green light to drop.
You're managing the gap to the car in front, keeping the revs up, anticipating that moment the flag drops or lights go out.
The safety car is in. Maximilian Turbin now leads the pack, dictating the pace before the start line.
This is where the leader plays their hand, managing the speed, trying to catch everyone else out and get the best jump off the line.
The field is incredibly tight now, Maximilian Turbin playing a perfect cat and mouse game as they approach the start line.
This is all about timing now. The leader will be looking in their mirrors, trying to get just the right run to maximize their acceleration off the line.
Any second now, the green flag will wave, and we will be racing here at Spa.
My heart would be pounding right now. You're just waiting for that signal, ready to drop the clutch and launch.
The crowd is on its feet, the engines are roaring, Maximilian Turbin is taking them to the start line.
This is it, the final moments of calm before the storm. You're trying to keep the wheels from spinning, but also be aggressive enough for the jump.
We're just moments away from the start of the 1966 Spa-Francorchamps endurance race.
Every driver will be mentally rehearsing that first corner, looking for the gaps, ready to pounce.
Maximilian Turbin is really taking his time now, bunching the field up for what promises to be an explosive start.
This is a tactical game by the leader, trying to get the perfect run onto the start-finish straight. It's all about catching the opposition by surprise.
The field is almost at a standstill now, just crawling towards the start line.
You want to avoid that on off throttle, it can make it harder to react to the start. A consistent but slow pace is ideal.
And the field is rolling again, turbine accelerating towards the line.
Here we go, that's the signal, everyone's now anticipating the lights or flag, revs coming up.
The crowd is on its feet, engines at full screen, the start is imminent.
You're fully in tune with the car, ready to unleash all that power off the line. It's a make or break moment.
Maximilian Turbin is absolutely flying now, leading the pack to the start.
This is a full speed start from the leader. Everyone will be scrambling to keep up and manage the wheel spin off the line.
Turbin is absolutely flat out now, leading them onto the main straight. The start is seconds away.
This is it, you're looking for every advantage, trying to anticipate the exact moment that green flag drops or lights go out to get the perfect jump.
The engines are screaming, the tension is unbearable, this is going to be an explosive start.
You're trying to manage the wheel spin, get a clean launch, and then fight for that first corner position right away.
And the green flag is out, we are racing at Spa-Francorchamps.
Go, go, go. Everyone's off the line, the scramble for position into La Source has begun.
Maximilian Turbin gets a fantastic start from pole, holding off Nick Edwards.
Edwards is right there, trying to challenge Turbin for the lead immediately. What a start from the front row.
Turbin holds the lead through La Source, but Edwards is right on his gearbox, looking for any opportunity.
This is where the race can be won or lost, these first few corners. Being aggressive but smart is key, you don't want to make a mistake this early.
Elliot Norton in the Porsche is also looking strong, trying to get around Edwards into less cones.
He's got the speed, the Porsche will be fantastic through these fast sections. He'll be trying to use that momentum to move up.
The field is now fully unleashed, thundering down through Eau Rouge, what a sight.
This is where the power really comes into play, getting a good run up right along, holding that line with so much speed.
Turbin still leads, but it's a very tight pack at the front as they navigate the fast sections of Spa.
Everyone's pushing hard, finding their rhythm, trying to establish their position in these opening laps. It's exhilarating.
The first lap is shaping up to be an absolute classic, the drivers are really going for it.
You want to hold position but also look for openings. It's a balance of aggression and patience early on in a long race.
And Turbin crosses the line to complete the first lap, still in the lead.
That was a clean opening lap from Turbin, holding off a strong challenge from Edwards. Crucial for confidence.
Maximilian Turbin leads into the second lap, Nick Edwards glued to his gearbox, and Elliot Norton is holding strong in third.
They're really pushing each other, you can feel the intensity from the track. This is proper racing at the front.
Kevin Simon is battling hard in fourth, with Rich Snape trying to make up ground in fifth.
P4 is a good spot to be, just out of the immediate slipstream battle but close enough to pounce if there's a mistake ahead.
Adam Tiaz is holding 6th, with Jamie Price right behind him in 7th, battling for position.
These middle pack battles are just as fierce. Every position matters, especially for the championship points later on.
Thomas Kruger Dorado in the Shelby Daytona is running 8th, with Jimmy Lindo in the Porsche in 9th.
The Shelby has some serious grunt. He'll be looking to use that power advantage on the straights to move through the field.
Dominic Fauvard completes our top 10, also in a Shelby Daytona Coupe, keeping the pressure on Lindo.
2 Shelbys in the top 10 now, they're making their presence felt. The different car characteristics always make Spa so exciting.
It's a fantastic start to the race here at Spa-Francorchamps, everyone pushing hard from the off.
You really feel the energy of the track and the drivers. It's a proper workout for everyone out there.
The cars are now settling into their rhythm, but the pace is relentless at the front.
It's about finding that balance between pushing hard and managing the tires and fuel in these early stages. Consistency is key.
Turbin and Edwards are still nose to tail, a classic battle unfolding already.
This is what you love to see, 2 drivers really going at it, testing each other's limits lap after lap.
Norden is just biding his time in 3rd, waiting for an opportunity to strike.
Patience is a virtue here. You don't want to burn up your tires too early or make a desperate move that could end your race.
The wind is still a factor out there. Sky, how much does that affect the drivers at Spa?
It's huge, especially through the fast sections like Eau Rouge and Blanchimont. A gust can really unsettle the car, requiring constant small corrections, which is mentally and physically draining.
That must make these already challenging corners even more so.
Absolutely. You're constantly judging the wind direction and strength, adapting your line and braking points. It adds another layer of complexity to an already complex track. Turbin extends his lead ever so slightly over Edwards, maybe a few car lengths now. He's really digging deep, trying to break that toe, get a bit of breathing room. Every 10th counts at this level.
Rich Snape in the Ferrari Dino is putting in a solid performance, holding 5th position.
For an AM driver, P5 is an excellent start. He's clearly found a good rhythm and is managing the car well in these conditions.
Meanwhile, Kevin Simon in the Porsche 910 sixths is still holding down 4th.
He's keeping pace with the lead group, staying in contention. This is where you want to be, ready to capitalize on any mistakes up front.
Thomas Kruger Dorado in the Shelby Daytona Coupe has just set the fastest lap of the race so far.
Wow, that's a statement. The Shelby's power is really coming into play now that he's got clear air. He's on a charge.
He's currently in 8th position, so he's really pushing to make up ground.
That's how you do it. Find your pace, put down some fast laps, and start closing the gap to the cars ahead. He's clearly found his groove.
Maximilian Turbin is responding, setting a personal best lap to try and maintain his gap.
He knows Kruger Dorado is on a flyer. He's not resting on his laurels, keeping that pace up at the front.
Nick Edwards is still right there, shadowing Turbin, waiting for any slight error.
He's keeping the pressure on, forcing Turbin to be perfect. That's a classic strategy in these close battles.
And Elliot Norden in 3rd looks very comfortable, just managing his race for now.
Smart driving. He's not getting caught up in the immediate scrap, but he's close enough that if they make a mistake, he can be right there.
The top three are really starting to pull away from the rest of the field now.
They've found another gear, pushing each other to a pace that the others just can't match right now.
Maximilian Turbin is still leading, but the gap to Edwards is fluctuating, sometimes wider, sometimes narrower.
That's the cat and mouse. He's trying to manage his tires, but Edwards is relentless, always looking to gain an inch.
Jamie Price in the Ferrari Dino is now putting serious pressure on Adam Tias for 6th position.
This is an exciting battle in the mid-pack. Price is definitely looking for a way past, trying to use that Dino's agility.
They're side by side heading into Les Combs.
Oh, this is brave. Side by side through Les Combs takes serious commitment. Who's going to back out?
Jamie Price takes 6th position from Adam Tias. A brilliant move through Les Combs.
He made it stick. That was a perfectly executed pass, showing great bravery and car control. What a move.
Adam Tias will be looking for a way to respond, but Price put the car in the right place.
It's hard to come back from a move like that, especially when someone commits so fully. Tias will need to regroup and find his moment.
The battle for 6th position has been resolved, but the pace at the front is still red hot.
Turbin is still holding strong, but Edwards is absolutely refusing to let him get away. It's a proper dogfight out there.
Just over a tenth separating the top two as they complete another lap.
That's nothing at Spa. One slight mistake, one missed apex, and Edwards will be right through. The pressure is immense for Turbin.
And Thomas Kruger Dorado has just set another fastest lap of the race. He's flying.
He's really on a mission. That Shelby is looking very strong, and he's driving it to its absolute limits. He's coming for the cars ahead.
Kruger Dorado is now up to 7th position, passing Adam Tias.
He's absolutely carved through the field. The combination of raw pace and aggressive driving is really paying off for him.
He's now looking at Jamie Price in 6th, who just made his move a moment ago.
This could be another exciting battle. Price will be fresh from his pass, but Kruger Dorado has incredible momentum.
And Kruger Dorado is right on the gearbox of Jamie Price now.
He's wasted no time at all. That Shelby has a massive top end, and he's using it perfectly here at Spa.
Kruger Dorado has passed Jamie Price for 6th position. He's absolutely on fire.
Incredible. He's just tearing through the field. He's clearly found a sweet spot with the car and the track conditions. What a drive.
From 8th to 6th in just a few laps, a truly impressive charge from the Shelby driver.
He's demonstrating exactly what these powerful cars can do when driven expertly. He's looking for more, I'm sure of it.
The leader, Maximilian Turbin, is still holding on, but Edwards is still relentless.
He's under constant pressure. Edwards isn't giving him an inch, just waiting for the smallest opportunity to take that lead.
Thomas Kruger Dorado is now setting his sights on Rich Snape in 5th position.
He's making serious progress. If he keeps this pace up, he could be challenging for a podium spot before too long.
And Thomas Kruger Dorado has passed Rich Snape for 5th position.
Unbelievable, he's just gone from P8 to P5 in a handful of laps. What a drive from Kruger Dorado.
Kruger Dorado is now up to 5th, and he's not slowing down. He's got Kevin Simon in his sights for 4th.
He's definitely found the rhythm. When you're in that zone, with a car that's working, you just keep pushing. He's absolutely flying.
What a phenomenal drive this is turning into from the Shelby driver.
This is why we love racing. Watching a driver absolutely maximize their potential and just carve through the field. He's on rails.
And at the front, Turbin and Edwards are still separated by mere tenths, a proper fight for the lead.
They're giving it everything they've got. The concentration levels required to maintain that pace at Spa while under constant pressure are immense.
Elliot Norton is still in a comfortable 3rd, watching the battle unfold ahead.
He's letting them exhaust themselves, a smart move. If they start to make mistakes, he'll be right there to pick up the pieces.
Kruger Dorado is now right on the back of Kevin Simon for 4th position.
He's absolutely relentless. The Shelby's power will be a huge advantage on the straights here, and he's not wasting it.
Thomas Kruger Dorado passes Kevin Simon for 4th position. He's up into 4th.
Unbelievable. From P8 to P4, he's just destroyed the competition behind him. What a charge, what a drive.
He's now in line for a podium position if he can maintain this incredible pace.
He's a serious contender now. He's got the momentum, he's got the speed, and he's not afraid to use it. This is incredible to watch.
Turbin, Edwards, Norton, and now Kruger Dorado in 4th. What a top 4 we have developing.
These are 4 seriously fast drivers in incredibly quick cars. Kruger Dorado has completely shaken up the order.
The crowd is absolutely on its feet, sensing something special unfolding here at Spa.
The energy from the circuit is electric. This is why Spa is such a legendary track, it produces racing like this.
And Thomas Kruger Dorado has just set another fastest lap of the race. He's not done yet.
He wants more. He's not settling for 4th. He's got Norton in his sights now, the podium is calling his name.
Kruger Dorado is closing rapidly on Elliot Norton in 3rd position.
He's absolutely flying. Norton will have to defend hard, because Kruger Dorado is coming in hot.
And Thomas Kruger Dorado has passed Elliot Norton for 3rd position. He's on the podium.
From P8 to P3, that is an absolutely masterful drive from Kruger Dorado. What a charge through the field.
Kruger Dorado is now in 3rd, and he's not letting up, still pushing incredibly hard.
He's still setting personal bests. He's found a real sweet spot with this car, and he's milking every single bit of performance out of it.
The top 2, Turbin and Edwards, are still battling, seemingly unaware of the charging Shelby behind them.
They need to look in their mirrors. Kruger Dorado is on a different level right now, and he's closing that gap fast.
Turbin leads Edwards by less than a tenth of a second, but Kruger Dorado is now within striking distance of second place.
This is incredible. He's just erased a huge gap in a few laps. Edwards needs to be aware, he's got a rocket coming up behind him.
From 8th to challenging for 2nd, a truly historic drive if he can keep this up.
He's making it look easy, but it's anything but. The precision and focus required to maintain this pace are immense. Pure talent on display.
Kruger Dorado is right on the gearbox of Nick Edwards, challenging for 2nd position.
He's there. The power of that Shelby on the long straights of Spa is just devastating. Edwards has to defend.
And Thomas Kruger Dorado has passed Nick Edwards for 2nd position, from P8 to P2.
This is sensational. Absolutely sensational. He's just torn through the field. What a drive from Kruger Dorado.
He's now setting his sights on the leader, Maximilian Turbin. The gap is closing fast.
Turbin needs to respond immediately. Kruger Dorado has the momentum, and he has serious pace. This race is far from over.
Maximilian Turbin now has a charging Shelby Daytona Coupe just a few seconds behind him.
He needs to find something extra. Kruger Dorado is on a different planet today, absolutely flying.
Turbin responds by setting a new personal best, trying to hold off the relentless charge of Kruger Dorado.
He knows he's under attack. He's pushing the Porsche to its absolute limit now, trying to maintain that gap. This is a battle of wills.
This is a truly incredible display of driving from Thomas Kruger Dorado, coming from P8 to challenge for the lead.
It's rare to see such a dominant drive through the field, especially at a track like Spa. He's absolutely on fire today.
And Thomas Kruger Dorado has just set the fastest lap of the race once again. He's just chipping away at Turbin's lead.
He's in a league of his own right now. The confidence he has in that car is palpable. This is a masterclass in aggressive, precise driving.
The gap is now under a second. Kruger Dorado is right there, challenging for the lead.
This is it, the moment we've all been waiting for. The P8 starter is now challenging for the lead of the race.
Kruger Dorado is right on the back of Maximilian Turbin. This is for the lead of the race.
He's there. The Shelby power will be immense on the straights. Turbin needs to defend perfectly here at every corner.
And Thomas Kruger Dorado has passed Maximilian Turbin for the lead. He's done it, from 8th to 1st.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. What a drive from Thomas Kruger Dorado. He has taken the lead of the Spa-Francorchamps endurance race.
What a phenomenal performance, Sky. He has absolutely torn through this field.
This is one for the history books. He showed incredible pace, bravery, and determination. What an absolute masterclass of a drive.
Thomas Kruger Dorado now leads the race, leaving Maximilian Turbin to try and pick up the pieces.
He's just been a different class today. That Shelby is singing, and he's driving it with absolute perfection.
Turbin is now fighting to hold on to second, with Nick Edwards still very much in contention behind him.
He's got to gather
"7 minutes left in this practice session and we're still waiting for Greg Sabo to set a representative lap time.
Still no lap time on the board for David Constable Barry with just over 6.5 minutes remaining. You want to get at least one banker lap in during practice, even if it's just to feel the car.
Less than 6 minutes now and still no time from Sabo. You have to wonder if there's an issue in the garage.
For Constable Barry, this is starting to get critical. You need to understand the car's balance before qualifying.
Nigel Walters now joins the list of drivers yet to post a time, just over 5 minutes remaining in this session.
This is where it gets tough. You're pushing to get a lap in, but you can't afford a mistake when you haven't even had a shakedown run.
Four and a half minutes left, and still no lap time for Constable Barry. This is a concerning start to the weekend for him.
Yellow flag, safety car is out.
Down to under 4 minutes and Nigel Walters still hasn't registered a time. We're running out of practice laps here.
At this point, you're hoping for one clear lap, just to make sure everything is working and get a feel for the track conditions.
Constable Barry still on the sidelines. The clock is ticking down rapidly in this practice session. And now Neil Constable Barry also without a time with just over 3 minutes to go. A busy end to practice for some. Jimmy Lindo now in the same boat, no lap time recorded with less than 3 minutes remaining in practice.
You don't want to be in this position. The pressure builds when you haven't even evaluated the basic setup yet.
Less than 2.5 minutes left, and still no time for Neil Constable-Barry. This could impact his qualifying performance. Jareth Hallam, another driver yet to post a time. We're well under 2 minutes now in practice.
This is tough for the engineers as well. No data to work with, no feedback from the driver on car balance. It's a shot in the dark for qualifying.
One minute, 16 seconds, and Nigel Walters still hasn't completed a lap. Time is all but gone.
He's really up against it now. Even getting out of the pits and finding clear track will be a challenge in this limited time.
And out of nowhere, David Constable-Barry has put in a time. A 3:56.869, good enough for P1 with just 43 seconds left.
That is a phenomenal lap under pressure. To wait that long, then go out and immediately set the fastest time, it takes a lot of mental fortitude and real belief in your ability.
Down to the wire, only 11 seconds remaining, and Nigel Walters is still without a lap time. It looks like he won't get one. Phil Bodkin's hopes of a practice lap are fading fast, only 20 seconds left on the clock. Chris Stokes also yet to set a time, and the clock is ticking down rapidly now, less than a minute left.
He'll be hoping for a very quick out lap and then just one push lap. It's a massive ask to get the tires up to temperature and deliver on the first attempt.
1 minute, 7 seconds on the clock, and Phil Bodkin still has no lap to his name.
This is tough for the team. No data means they're going into qualifying blind with Phil, which is never ideal for optimizing performance.
Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps 1966. The qualifying session is moments away, and with wins at 13, it's going to be a challenging session for everyone. The qualifying session is officially underway here at Spa, with 5 minutes and 44 seconds remaining. No times on the board just yet, but the cars are out there.
This early in the session, it's all about finding that rhythm and feeling for the car. You don't want to push too hard on the first lap, but you can't afford to waste time either.
Five minutes and 21 seconds left on the clock for qualifying here at Spa, and still no one has laid down a representative lap time. Nigel Walters is one of those yet to show his hand. The clock continues to tick down, just 4 minutes and 49 seconds left in this qualifying session. Jimmy Lindo is still waiting to set a time.
At this point, you're really feeling the pressure to put a lap together. You've had a few laps to warm up, and now it's time to extract everything from the car and track.
Down to 4 minutes and 17 seconds left in qualifying, and still no time on the board for Nigel Walters. He needs to get a move on.
This is where the nerves can really start to get to you. Every corner is critical, and any small mistake could ruin the lap and potentially your grid position.
Time is quickly running out in qualifying, just 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Jamie Price is yet to post a lap time. We're into the final 3 minutes of qualifying, 3 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. Greg Sabo is another driver still without a time.
This late in the session, every driver out there is pushing to the absolute limit. It's a high-stakes gamble to find those extra tenths, knowing one mistake could cost you dearly.
The clock is relentless, 2 minutes and 41 seconds left. John Boontakis has yet to register a lap time in this session. Just over 2 minutes remaining now in qualifying, 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Thomas Kruger Dorado still hasn't set a time.
He's really going to have to hustle to get a lap in now. It might be a one-shot deal, so he'll need to make it count.
Under 2 minutes left now, 1 minute and 50 seconds on the clock. Chris Stokes is another driver yet to put a time in. And there it is. Chris Stokes puts the first representative time on the board, a 3:55.690, and that immediately puts him into provisional pole position. Thomas Kruger Dorado has just posted a 3:58.310, slotting into second place. But he's currently minus 0.16 seconds on his delta, so he's looking to go even faster.
That's an impressive first lap, but even more so that he's finding pace immediately. He clearly knows the track, and he's not afraid to push for that extra edge early on.
Daniel Kocic is still without a lap time as the clock shows 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in qualifying.
He'll need to get a move on. The pressure is on to put a clean lap together and not get caught out by any traffic.
Daniel Kocic completes a lap, but it's not a representative time, placing him in P17 for now. He'll need to find some pace quickly. Chris Stokes is currently P2 with a 3:55.690, but he's on another flyer. He's minus 0.22 seconds on his personal best.
He's really digging deep here. Finding a quarter of a second at Spa is no small feat, especially on a second attempt when the tires might not be at their absolute peak.
Daniel Kocic still without a time, 3 minutes and 23 seconds left on the clock. He needs to get a clean run in.
Every second counts now. He'll be looking to hook up a perfect lap, perhaps even pushing harder than he'd like, knowing how little time remains.
Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps 1966, and the air is electric as the grid prepares for lights out.
This circuit, even back then, demanded respect from the very first corner. A little wind today just adds to the challenge of getting a clean start.
And there he is, Martin Mol, starting from a strong P2 in his Madra M630 BRM, a real threat from the Netherlands.
P2 is a great place to be here, perfect for slipstreaming into La Source, but you've got to get the launch right, especially with that BRM engine.
Meanwhile, Kevin Simon, the German Pro-Am driver, lines up just behind in P4 in his Porsche 910/6.
The Porsche 910/6 is a nimble car, and P4 is still very much in contention, especially if he can make up a place or two through Eau Rouge.
Further down the grid, it's Thomas Kruger Dorado from the UK, starting P6 in his iconic Shelby Daytona Coupe.
The Daytona Coupe is a brute, incredible on the straights, and if Kruger Dorado can hold his own through the faster sections, P6 could quickly become P4.
And in P8, we have Nick Edwards, the Canadian, in his beautiful Ferrari 250 LM. Next up, it's Phil Bodkin from England, P9, driving another Porsche 910/6.
P9 is a tough spot here, a lot of traffic in front, but the 910/6 is consistent, which can pay dividends over a long race.
Jamie Price, a Pro-Am driver, starts from P10 in the Ferrari Dino 206S. And in P11, Nigel Walters, another UK driver, in the Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta. Jimmy Lindo, in the Porsche 910/6, will start from P12. Daniel Kocic of Hungary, in the Shelby Daytona Coupe, lines up in P13. Maximilian Turbin, from England, P14 in the Porsche 910/6. Rich Snape, another UK driver, starts from P15 in the Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta.
P15 means a lot of work to do, but the dyno is a very balanced car. Consistent lap times can make a difference in the mid-pack.
And rounding out the current grid, Greg Sabo of Italy in the Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta, starting P16. Elliot Norden from the UK, in the Porsche 910/6, will start from P18 today.
P18 is definitely a challenge here at Spa, but the Porsche is reliable, so a smooth race could see him gain places.
David Constable Barry, from England, lines up in P19 in his Madra M630 BRM.
Another Matra on the grid, these cars have power, and if Constable Barry can manage the early traffic, he can make some serious moves.
The lights are out, and the 1966 Spa-Francorchamps race is underway. And already we have a safety car. A big incident has occurred.
That was quick. Someone has definitely found trouble out there on track.
Well, that certainly got our attention early, didn't it? A safety car just moments after the green flag.
It's always a risk on these historic tracks, particularly on the first lap when everyone's jostling. I've been in plenty of those early scrums myself.
Spa-Francorchamps, 1966. It demands respect, and clearly, it's already been someone.
Exactly. You're trying to get heat into the tires, find a rhythm, and simultaneously defend or attack. One slight misjudgment here can have big consequences, even at lower speeds.
The cars themselves are a handful, even for the most seasoned drivers. No power steering, no advanced aerodynamics.
They require immense physical and mental effort. You're really wrestling the car, feeling every twitch. Under safety car, you're trying to keep that feel, keep things warm, waiting for the restart.
It's fascinating how quickly a race narrative can shift from an explosive start to a period of calm and anticipation.
It is. For the drivers, it's a moment to take a breath, check the gauges, but also to mentally prepare for the restart, knowing the field will be tightly packed.
This delay gives everyone a chance to reset, but it also piles on the pressure for when we do go green again.
Absolutely. The restart is almost like a second start, often even more chaotic because everyone is already fully warmed up and aggressive. I've gained or lost many places on restarts.
And the safety car is out once more. Another big incident on track has brought the field back together.
This is going to interrupt any rhythm drivers we're trying to build. Clearly, conditions out there are proving tricky.
Two safety cars already. That's highly unusual for the early stages of a race, even one as challenging as Spa.
It tells you a lot about the track and the intensity of the competition. Repeated interruptions like this can really mess with a driver's head, trying to keep concentration when you're not fully racing.
It's either the conditions, the cars themselves, or perhaps some overly aggressive driving in the early laps causing these incidents.
Likely a combination. You're trying to keep heat in the tires, but also stay sharp for when the green flag inevitably drops again. I remember races where I felt like I spent more time behind the safety car than at full pace.
This track, with its high-speed corners and undulating nature, punishes even the smallest error, especially in these machines.
Absolutely. And with the wind we mentioned at the start, that's just another variable to contend with, especially through Blanchimont or even down through Eau Rouge. It can catch you out when you're on the limit.
So, for the drivers who've managed to avoid trouble, this is a chance to gather themselves, but also an exercise in patience.
Exactly. You're constantly assessing, trying to predict the restart, thinking about your tire temperatures. It's a different kind of pressure, almost more mentally draining than full-on racing at times.
It certainly makes for a dramatic race, even when it's not at full speed.
It does. Every restart is a new opportunity, and a new danger. You have to be ready to switch from calm to full attack mode in an instant, and that's not always easy when you've been cruising.
Unbelievable, a third safety car period. Yet another big incident has brought the race to a crawl.
This is becoming a pattern. Drivers will be frustrated, trying to maintain focus and temperature when they're constantly on and off the pace. It's difficult to keep your rhythm.
Three safety cars in such a short space of time. This is turning into a real stop-start affair at Spa.
It's incredibly challenging for the drivers. Every time the safety car comes out, you lose heat in the tires, the brakes cool down, and then you have to bring it all back up again for the restart. It really messes with your concentration.
You'd think after the first two, everyone would be extra cautious, but clearly, the pressures of this circuit and the competition are still leading to trouble.
This track is relentlessly fast. Even in my racing days, a momentary lapse here could put you in the wall. You're constantly walking a tightrope, and these repeated interruptions make it even harder to stay in that zone.
It's a testament to the skill required just to keep these powerful machines on the tarmac at Spa, even without incidents around you.
Absolutely, and what it does is condense the field every time. So, each restart is like the very first lap all over again, with drivers perhaps a little more desperate to make up lost ground. It just increases the risk.
This race is certainly keeping us on our toes, even if the pace isn't always flat out.
It really is. You're constantly having to reassess your strategy, wondering when you'll actually get into a long, uninterrupted run. It's a different kind of endurance challenge, really.
The drivers who can keep their cool and maintain focus through this will be the ones who ultimately benefit.
That's the key, not getting frustrated, keeping your head, and being ready to pounce when the green flag finally waves for good. That's easier said than done, trust me.
Remarkable, another safety car deployed. This is an astonishing number of incidents for one race.
This is almost unprecedented. You're constantly bringing the field back together, which just creates more opportunities for contact at restarts. As a driver, you'd be tearing your hair out.
Four safety cars. I don't think I've ever seen a race at Spa quite like this. It's becoming a race of restarts rather than continuous laps.
This isn't just about the incidents themselves now, it's about the mental game. Every time the safety car comes out, you're trying to keep the tires warm, the brakes hot, and your mind focused on the next sprint. It's incredibly draining.
Indeed, for the leaders, it's frustrating as any gaps they've built up are wiped away. For those further back, it's a constant cycle of hope and then disappointment if they can't make a move on the restart.
Exactly. I remember races where I felt like the safety car was more of a psychological weapon than a safety measure. You're trying to calculate when to push, when to conserve, all while constantly being bunched up again.
The nature of Spa itself, with its long straights and fast sections, means that when the green flag does drop, the acceleration is immense, and the risks are high.
The drivers are just itching to get back to racing, and that pent-up energy, combined with cold tires and a tightly packed field, is a recipe for more trouble. It takes immense discipline not to overdo it at the first opportunity.
It's turning into a real test of endurance and nerve rather than just pure pace, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. The fastest car won't necessarily win this one. It'll be the driver who can best manage these stop-start conditions, who can maintain their composure and seize the right moment on a restart.
Every time the field bunches up, it creates fresh opportunities for those in the mid-pack to make a daring move.
But also fresh opportunities for disaster. You've got cars of varying performance levels, drivers of different experience, all wanting the same piece of tarmac. It's a very volatile situation out there right now.
This is incredible, a fifth safety car. We're seeing more yellow flags than green today at Spa.
This has to be an endurance test of a different kind for these drivers. Constantly on edge, never getting into a rhythm, it's brutal on concentration.
Five safety cars. I'm struggling to remember a race with this many interruptions so early on. The pace of the race is almost non-existent at times.
It's an absolute nightmare for drivers. You're constantly cycling for heating up the tires, cooling down, then having to be aggressive again. Your race strategy just goes out the window with this many stoppages.
It's not just the physical demand of controlling these cars, it's the mental fortitude required to stay sharp through all these restarts.
Precisely. You're constantly anticipating, constantly on the brink of going flat out, then having to rein it in. I remember feeling more tired after a race with a lot of safety cars than a completely flat-out sprint.
This kind of race really separates those who can manage the chaos from those who thrive only in clear air.
It's a different skill set. You need impeccable car control for the restarts, understanding exactly where the grip is, and judging the aggression of the cars around you. It's a high-stakes chess match every time the safety car pulls in.
Every time that safety car peels off, it feels like the start of a whole new race.
That's exactly how you have to approach it as a driver. Reset, fresh start, and try to make the most of the next few laps before the inevitable happens again, it seems.
We're seeing a true test of patience and composure at Spa-Francorchamps today.
More than just raw speed, this race is about sheer resilience. Who can hold their nerve and not make a mistake when the pressure is this inconsistent?
Unbelievable, a sixth safety car deployment. The incidents just keep coming here at Spa-Francorchamps.
This is an absolute war of attrition out there. Drivers must be absolutely exasperated with the lack of continuous racing, constantly on and off the pace.
6 safety cars. I'm genuinely struggling to find words for this, Sky. This race is less about speed and more about survival.
This is uncharted territory. As a driver, you'd be absolutely fuming, but you'd also know that staying calm is the only way to avoid becoming the 7th incident. It's a test of ultimate composure.
Every time the field bunches up, it creates new opportunities, but also clearly new risks, and drivers are still finding trouble out there.
Exactly. You've got cold tires, cold brakes, and a pack of drivers who are desperate to make progress but also incredibly frustrated. That combination is a recipe for more incidents, as we're seeing.
It's fascinating to consider how much this constant stopping and starting changes the physical demands on the drivers as well.
It's immense. The quick shifts from heavy braking to rapid acceleration, the constant steering input to keep heat in the tires, all of it under varying speeds. It's a different kind of fatigue than just flat-out racing.
The strategy boards must be in tatters, trying to make sense of when to pit, when to push.
Absolutely. Any pre-race plan is completely out the window. It's all about reacting to the moment, trying to guess when the next incident might occur, and when you can finally get some clear laps in.
This isn't just a motor race now, it's a saga of resilience and unpredictability.
It really is. The winner of this race will have truly conquered not just the circuit and the competition, but also the sheer chaos of the day. This isn't just about pace anymore.
Good grief. Another safety car period. That's number 7. Spa is certainly delivering drama today.
7 safety cars. This is an incredible number. Drivers must be absolutely at their wits' end, trying to manage this stop-start chaos.
Seven safety cars. This is unprecedented. This isn't a race, it's an extended safety car period with occasional bursts of racing.
It's completely disrupted any flow. As a driver, you're constantly fighting the car, the track, and your own frustration. You just want to get into a rhythm, but it's impossible out there.
The mental aspect of this race must be absolutely brutal. To maintain focus through so many restarts and such inconsistent pace is a huge ask.
It is. You're trying to keep the tires alive, manage fuel, stay hydrated, all while knowing that any second you could be back under yellow. I've been in races with 2 or 3 safety cars, but 7 is a different beast entirely.
It makes you wonder about the conditions, or if the drivers are simply pushing these powerful 1966 machines beyond their limits on this unforgiving circuit.
It's a combination. These cars are raw, and Spa demands absolute precision. With this many restarts, everyone is trying to gain an edge, and that extra aggression in a tight pack often leads to trouble.
This race will be remembered not for its blistering lap times, but for its sheer chaotic nature.
Definitely. The winner here will be the driver who mastered the art of managing chaos, not necessarily the fastest one on track today. It's a different kind of victory.
Every time the safety car comes in, it's a new opportunity for someone to make a move, but also for someone else to make a mistake.
And that's why the tension never really drops. You're always on high alert for the next incident, the next opportunity to react. It's truly a test of nerves.
Goodness me, it's happened again. An 8th safety car deployment. This is beyond belief.
This is absolutely unprecedented. Drivers must be completely drained, mentally and physically, from this constant stop-start racing. It's a complete lottery out there.
Eight safety cars. This is no longer a race, it's a test of the safety car driver's fuel consumption. I've truly never witnessed anything like it.
This has gone beyond frustrating for the drivers. Every time you start to find a groove, you're pulled back. Maintaining concentration, keeping the tires and brakes ready, it's an impossible ask for consistent performance.
The narrative of this race is completely dominated by these incidents. Spectators must be on the edge of their seats, but perhaps for reasons other than blistering pace.
It's pure chaos management now. My experience tells me that these repeated restarts are far more dangerous than just running at full speed. Everyone is desperate, and everyone is cold.
It makes you wonder about the long-term effects on the cars too, with constant heating and cooling cycles on the engines and brakes.
Absolutely. Components are being stressed in ways they weren't designed for over such a short period. It's a mechanical gamble every time the green flag drops again.
This Spa-Francorchamps 1966 event will certainly be etched into the history books for all the wrong, or perhaps, dramatically right, reasons.
It's a bizarre kind of endurance race. The fastest driver on paper might not be the one who stands on the top step today. It'll be the one who navigates this constant minefield of restarts and cold tires.
The sheer unpredictability is the only consistent factor we've seen today.
And that's what keeps you on edge as a driver. You can't plan, you can only react, and reacting perfectly 8 times in a row is a monumental challenge.
Unbelievable, a 9th safety car. This race is now officially one for the record books, and not for the reasons we usually associate with Spa.
This is beyond belief. Drivers must be absolutely furious, but also utterly exhausted by the mental toll of these constant restarts. It's a miracle anyone is still on track.
A 9th safety car. This is frankly absurd. The race has almost become an extended parade lap, broken by moments of high-tension restarts.
This completely changes the dynamic of the race from anything I've ever experienced. Any rhythm, any flow, is just shattered into 1,000 pieces for the drivers.
It's a testament to the circuit's reputation for being unforgiving, but also perhaps to the sheer aggression in the field today, leading to so many errors.
It's definitely a mix. With so many incidents, you're constantly trying to balance caution with the need to make progress on the restart. It's a psychological battle as much as a driving one.
The drivers who can maintain their focus and avoid getting caught up in the frustration will be the true heroes of this unique event.
Absolutely. The winner won't just be fast, they'll be the master of chaos. Staying cool under this kind of inconsistent pressure is a skill few possess, and it's being tested to the absolute limit today.
This isn't a sprint, and it's barely an endurance race in the traditional sense. It's something entirely new.
It's a test of sheer mental fortitude, I tell you. You're constantly switching gears, from cruise mode to qualifying pace, and that's incredibly demanding on both car and driver.
We're witnessing history here, whatever the outcome, for the sheer number of interruptions.
No doubt. The history books will have a special chapter for Spa-Francorchamps 1966, that's for sure.
Incredible, a 10th safety car. This is absolutely astounding. The incidents at Spa just keep coming.
10 safety cars. This is beyond anything I've ever experienced in a race, even in my wildest days. The drivers are really being put through the ringer, mentally.
Ten safety cars. This is beyond anything I've witnessed in all my years of commentary. This isn't a race, it's a series of starts and stops punctuated by incidents.
This is an ultimate test of patience and nerve for every single driver out there. You try to keep the tires warm, the brakes ready, but the constant resetting just drains you. I can't imagine how mentally tough this is.
It's fascinating how this completely alters the traditional view of a motor race. Speed is almost secondary to survival and consistent restarts.
Exactly. Any pre-race strategy is completely obsolete. You're living lap by lap, restart by restart. My own experience tells me these fragmented races are often the most demanding because you can never settle.
The drivers who come through this will have truly earned their stripes, regardless of their finishing position.
Absolutely. It's a different kind of endurance. The winners will be those who can manage their frustration, maintain focus, and seize the fleeting opportunities that these restarts provide, without making a mistake themselves.
This Spa-Francorchamps 1966 event is carving out a unique place in motor racing history.
It certainly is. You don't often see a race where the biggest challenge isn't another car or the track itself, but the sheer unpredictability of constant interruptions. It's a true crucible.
Every time the safety car pulls in, the tension is palpable. It's a fresh mini race within the main event.
And that's where the next incident so often happens. The field is compressed, everyone is eager, and the cars are a little cold. It's a volatile mix every single time.
Good heavens, an 11th safety car. We are truly witnessing a race of unprecedented stoppages here at Spa.
This is beyond extraordinary. At this point, the drivers must be questioning if they'll ever get a consistent run. The mental strain is immense.
"11 safety cars. I'm genuinely at a loss for words. This is completely unprecedented in motor racing history."
It's an absolutely brutal test for the drivers. You're constantly having to bring the car back to temperature, mentally reset for the restart, and then go full attack. It's draining beyond belief.
This race isn't about outright pace anymore. It's about sheer survival and who can maintain their composure through this absolute chaos.
Exactly. Every restart is a high-stakes gamble. My experience tells me that these repeated bunched-up fields and cold tires make for the most dangerous moments on track. You're always on edge.
The drivers who are still out there, managing to keep their machines on the track, are demonstrating an incredible level of resilience.
They really are. It's a different kind of skill being showcased today, one of patience and precise execution under the most stop-start conditions imaginable. The winner will truly have earned it.
This Spa-Francorchamps 1966 event will be spoken about for decades, surely, for its remarkable, if chaotic, nature.
Oh, without a doubt. It's rewriting the rulebook on what a challenging race truly means. Not just the track, but the entire race flow has been the adversary today.
The pit walls must be in utter disarray, trying to figure out strategy amidst these never-ending interruptions.
Absolutely. You're constantly trying to predict the unpredictable, and that's an impossible task. It forces you to rely entirely on instinct when the green flag finally drops.
It's a bizarre spectacle, to say the least, seeing such powerful machines held in check for so much of the race.
And the frustration that builds in a driver during these periods is immense. You have to convert that energy into focused aggression, not reckless abandon, on the restarts.
Unbelievable, a 12th safety car. The sheer number of incidents today is simply staggering.
This is beyond anything I've ever seen. As a driver, you'd be numbed by now, just trying to keep your head and stay out of trouble during these constant restarts.
"12 safety cars. I'm struggling to find new adjectives, Sky. This race is completely redefining what we understand by a motor race.
It's an unbelievable test of mental endurance. Any driver out there right now is fighting not just the competition and the track, but the sheer, relentless frustration of never finding a rhythm. I've never seen anything like it in my career.
This isn't just about speed, it's about sheer resilience, about keeping your car on the black stuff when everyone around you seems to be finding trouble.
Absolutely. Every single restart is a high-risk situation. The tires are cold, everyone is bunched up, and the desperation to make a move is palpable. It's a very dangerous dance, time and time again.
The history books will certainly have a prominent entry for Spa-Francorchamps 1966, an event driven by chaos rather than a clear run of laps.
It will be remembered as the race where the safety car was the most frequent sight. The drivers who finish this, let alone win, will have truly earned their place in legend for their sheer willpower.
You have to feel for the pit crews too, constantly having to reevaluate strategies that are essentially redundant.
Oh, the strategy boards would be a mess. You're just trying to react, to be ready for the next green flag, and hoping it lasts longer than the last one. It's a constant state of alert.
The atmosphere must be incredibly tense, both on track and in the garages.
It is. You're trying to keep the adrenaline in check but also be ready to unleash it. It's a very fine line, and today, many drivers have clearly stepped over it.
Good gracious, a 13th safety car. This is completely unprecedented. The incidents are simply relentless.
13 safety cars. The drivers must be utterly numbed by now, just trying to survive each restart without getting caught up.
"13 safety cars. This race is now officially a legend for all the wrong reasons, Hal. It's a miracle anyone is still running.
It's beyond belief. The drivers are in pure survival mode now, just trying to navigate each restart without adding to the incident count. The mental drain of this stop-start is unimaginable.
This isn't a motor race in any traditional sense. It's a constant cycle of bunching up, a brief sprint, and then another yellow flag.
Any pre-race planning has long since been abandoned. As a driver, you're just reacting, trying to get through the next few corners. I've never driven in conditions this consistently disrupted.
The sheer unpredictability is the only thing we can predict today at Spa-Francorchamps.
And that's the toughest part. You can't get into a rhythm, can't build confidence. Every time the safety car pulls in, it's a fresh, high-stakes gamble with cold tires and a packed grid.
This event will surely go down in the annals of motor racing history as one of the most chaotic ever witnessed.
Absolutely. The winner, if anyone can make it to the end, will have conquered an almost impossible mental and physical challenge today, far beyond just raw pace.
It's a bizarre spectacle to watch these powerful machines constantly being reined in, only to explode back into action for short bursts.
It speaks to the demands of this circuit, even in 1966. Combine that with the constant pressure of restarts, and it's a recipe for the drama we're seeing.
The drivers who are managing to stay clean through all this are showcasing incredible discipline.
It's about staying calm when everything around you is chaos. That's a very rare skill, and it's being tested to its absolute limit today at Spa.
Good heavens, a 14th safety car. This is truly unprecedented. The incident simply refused to stop here.
14 safety cars. This race is less about speed and more about sheer survival. The driver's mental reserves must be utterly depleted by now.
"14 safety cars. I'm genuinely at a loss for words, Sky. This is absolutely beyond anything I've ever witnessed in all my years of commentary."
This is an absolute mental and physical endurance test for every driver still out there. Any rhythm is gone, it's just about reacting to the next restart and trying to stay out of trouble. I can only imagine the frustration.
This isn't a race of speed, it's a brutal competition of survival and sheer nerve, constantly under the threat of another incident.
Every single restart is like a mini Grand Prix, condensed into a few corners, with cold tires and incredibly high stakes. As a driver, you're constantly fighting yourself not to get overly aggressive or make a silly mistake.
The history books will certainly mark Spa-Francorchamps 1966 as an event unlike any other, defined by its incredible number of interruptions.
Without a doubt, the winner here won't just be the fastest, they'll be the one who best mastered the chaos, who kept their composure through the most fragmented race I've ever heard of.
The constant tension for the drivers, never knowing when the next yellow will appear, must be immense.
It means you can never fully relax, even behind the safety car, because you know a full-on sprint is coming. It completely changes your approach to the entire event.
It's a bizarre spectacle, seeing these powerful machines constantly reined in, then unleashed, only to be reined in again.
And each time you push, you're taking a risk. The drivers who are still on track are showing incredible discipline and determination, navigating this relentless series of challenges.
Good heavens, a 15th safety car deployment. This is absolutely beyond belief. The incidents are just relentless here at Spa.
15 safety cars. This is an incredible, almost impossible number. Drivers are fighting not just the track but the sheer mental fatigue of this constant stop-start race.
"15 safety cars. This is beyond any sporting event I've ever witnessed. It's a race defined entirely by its interruptions."
This is an absolute nightmare for drivers. You're constantly having to rebuild concentration, bring the tires back to temperature, only for it to be reset again. The mental drain of this stop-start is immense. It's like 100 mini-races.
Any pre-race predictions or strategies have surely been obliterated by this relentless sequence of incidents.
Completely gone. You're just reacting now, trying to make the most of the fleeting green flag periods, but always with one eye on the next yellow. My experience tells me this is far harder than a flat-out sprint.
The drivers who are still maintaining their composure and keeping their cars on the track are demonstrating an extraordinary level of discipline.
It's pure survival. Every restart is a gamble, and to have navigated 15 of them without incident, or to have recovered from them, shows incredible skill and resilience under pressure.
Spa-Francorchamps 1966 will forever be etched into the record books for this utterly chaotic, yet compelling, spectacle.
It's rewriting what we thought was possible in a motor race. The winner today won't just be the fastest, they'll be the one who conquered the most unpredictable conditions imaginable.
The tension, every time the safety car pulls in, must be absolutely palpable for everyone involved.
It is. You're bracing for impact, knowing that the compression of the field and the varying temperatures of the cars create prime conditions for more trouble. It's a truly unique kind of pressure.
Good heavens, a 16th safety car. This is truly incomprehensible. The incidents are simply relentless here at Spa.
16 safety cars. This is beyond anything I've ever known in racing. The mental fortitude required to keep going in this stop-start chaos is absolutely staggering.
"16 safety cars. This is genuinely unbelievable, Sky. We're witnessing a race that's mostly been under caution."
It's an absolutely mind-bending scenario for the drivers. Any rhythm, any flow, has been completely shattered. You're constantly having to reset, mentally and physically.
This race isn't about outright pace anymore. It's a brutal contest of endurance, patience, and avoiding trouble during these endless restarts.
Every single restart is a high-stakes gamble. My own racing experience tells me that these bunched-up fields with cold tires are incredibly dangerous. You're just trying to survive each one.
Spa-Francorchamps 1966 will certainly be talked about for decades, an event defined by its unprecedented number of interruptions.
Absolutely. The winner, if anyone can make it to the flag, will have conquered a monumental mental challenge today, far beyond just pure driving skill.
The tension, every time that safety car pulls in, must be absolutely electric, a fresh mini-race within the chaos.
It is. You're bracing for it, knowing that everyone is going to be aggressive, and the conditions are ripe for another incident. It's exhausting.
And for the cars themselves, this constant heating and cooling, stopping and starting, must be taking its toll.
Definitely. Engine temperatures, brake wear, gearbox stress. It adds another layer of unknown, another way for the race to bite you, even if you avoid contact.
The sheer unpredictability is the only constant we've seen today at Spa.
And that's what makes it such a unique test. The best drivers are the most versatile, and today, that's being proven beyond any doubt.
Good gracious me, a 17th safety car. This is simply beyond belief. The incidents are just utterly relentless.
17 safety cars. At this point, drivers must be running on fumes of frustration and sheer will. It's a complete psychological test.
"17 safety cars. This is no longer a race. It's a bewildering sequence of starts and stops. Absolutely incredible, Sky."
It's an utterly brutal experience for the drivers out there. Your entire race plan is obliterated, and you're just trying to survive each restart, maintaining some semblance of tire and brake temperature.
This event at Spa-Francorchamps 1966 will go down in history, not for its record speeds, but for its utterly chaotic and unpredictable nature.
Definitely. As a driver, you'd be fighting immense frustration, constantly having to switch from cruise mode to maximum attack. The mental drain of this stop-start rhythm is immense.
The sheer number of incidents suggests a perfect storm of a demanding circuit, powerful cars, and perhaps some very aggressive driving in these compressed field moments.
It's the combination of all of that. Every time the field bunches, it's like a reset button, but with drivers who are already tired and eager. That's a very volatile mix for these 1960s machines.
The resilience of the drivers still on track is truly commendable, navigating this relentless series of challenges.
It's a testament to their focus. Winning this race isn't about raw pace anymore, it's about who can maintain composure and make the fewest mistakes under these truly extraordinary circumstances.
Every time the safety car peels off, the tension is palpable, the anticipation of another short burst of frantic racing.
And the knowledge that the next incident is always lurking, especially with cold tires. You're constantly on a knife edge, trying to push without overdoing it.
Good gracious, yet another safety car. That's number 18. This race is simply defying belief.
18 safety cars. This is beyond anything I've ever experienced in a race. The drivers must be in a state of utter shock, just trying to endure.
"18 safety cars. I'm genuinely at a loss for words, Sky. This is completely redefining the limits of race interruptions."
This is an endurance race of the mind, not the engine. Drivers are battling pure frustration now, trying to keep their focus when the rhythm is constantly being broken. It's a mental marathon, not a sprint.
Any pre-race strategy has long been thrown out the window. It's all about reacting in the moment, surviving the next restart.
Absolutely. Every time that safety car pulls in, you're looking at a compressed field of cars on less than optimal tires, all drivers eager to make up ground. It's a recipe for chaos, and we're seeing it unfold time and again.
The drivers who are still out there, managing to keep their machines on the track through all this, are showcasing truly exceptional composure.
It's about staying calm when all hell is breaking loose around you. You have to be aggressive, but also incredibly precise, to avoid becoming the next incident. My experience tells me that's a very difficult balance to strike repeatedly.
This Spa-Francorchamps 1966 race will be infamous, a legend for its relentless, unprecedented series of incidents.
It's creating a unique chapter in motor racing history. The victor, if there is one, will have truly overcome extraordinary challenges that go far beyond just car and circuit.
The atmosphere, even through the airwaves, feels incredibly tense, a constant build-up and release of pressure.
It is. You can feel the driver's exasperation, but also their determination to not be the next one out. It's a strange mix of emotions out there on track.
Good heavens, a 19th safety car. This is simply beyond belief, the incidents are just utterly relentless.
19 safety cars. This race has transcended normal competition. Drivers are in survival mode, pushing their mental limits to the absolute extreme.
"19 safety cars. This is no longer just remarkable, it's genuinely baffling. This race is completely redefining chaos."
This has crossed the line from challenging to almost absurd for the drivers. Every time the safety car comes out, you're wrestling with frustration, trying to keep the car ready, and your head in the game. It's an immense mental workout.
Any semblance of a traditional race strategy is utterly gone. It's pure improvisation, lap after lap, or rather, restart after restart.
Absolutely. You're constantly having to reassess, to react to the ever-changing situation. My experience tells me races like this, with so many stops and starts, are far more draining than a flat-out sprint because you never get to relax or settle.
The drivers who are still out there are not just racing, they're demonstrating an incredible feat of endurance and mental fortitude.
It's about resilience now. Who can keep their head when everything is going wrong? Who can make a precise move on a restart when everyone is desperate and the tires are cold? That's the real test here today.
This Spa-Francorchamps 1966 event will be spoken about in hushed tones, a legendary race for all the wrong, yet undeniably dramatic, reasons.
It's an absolute anomaly. The victor, if we get one, will be revered for conquering the most unpredictable conditions imaginable, not just for their raw speed. They'll have truly earned it today.
The tension is almost unbearable, even for us watching from here, with every restart feeling like a new, precarious beginning.
And for the drivers, that tension is magnified 1,000-fold. You're constantly anticipating the next incident, the next opportunity, the next near miss. It's a relentless assault on the senses.
Good heavens, a 20th safety car deployment. This is beyond comprehension. The incidents are just utterly relentless here at Spa.
20 safety cars. This is an absolutely staggering number, unprecedented in any racing I've known. Drivers must be absolutely exasperated by this point.
"20 safety cars. I'm struggling to believe what I'm seeing, Sky. This is no longer a race, it's a commentary on chaos itself."
This is utterly extraordinary. As a driver, you're not just racing the track or the competition, you're battling sheer, relentless frustration and the constant mental reset. It's a completely unique kind of torture out there.
Any semblance of a traditional race strategy or rhythm has been completely obliterated. It's pure improvisation, reaction, and survival for every driver still running.
Exactly. You're constantly having to bring the car back to the limit from a crawl, on cold tires, with a packed field. My racing experience tells me these fragmented events are often the most demanding because you can never truly settle into a flow.
The drivers who are still maintaining their composure and keeping their cars on the track are demonstrating a level of mental fortitude that's almost beyond belief.
It's about resilience, pure and simple. Who can keep their head when everything is going against them? Who can make that precise, aggressive move on a restart without making the 21st mistake? That's the real test today.
Spa-Francorchamps 1966 will surely go down in the annals of motor racing history as one of the most remarkable, and utterly bizarre, events ever witnessed.
It's rewriting the book, isn't it? The victor here, if we get one, will be revered not just for their pace but for conquering an almost impossible, unpredictable, and frankly exhausting challenge. They will have earned this many times over.
The tension with every safety car restart is palpable, a fresh burst of frantic, high-stakes action.
And that's where the danger lies. Everyone is eager, everyone is desperate, and the margins for error are incredibly fine with these machines. It's a true test of nerve every single time.
Good heavens, a 21st safety car. This is absolutely beyond comprehension. The incidents are just utterly relentless.
21 safety cars. This is an absolutely staggering, unprecedented number. Drivers must be utterly exhausted and exasperated by this point.
21 safety cars. I'm genuinely struggling to find new ways to describe the sheer absurdity of this race, Sky.
This is an absolute psychological battlefield for the drivers. Any semblance of a racing rhythm has been obliterated. You're constantly on alert, fighting frustration, and trying to keep the car responsive through these endless stop-starts. It's a truly unique kind of hell for a competitor.
This Spa-Francorchamps 1966 event isn't just challenging, it's redefining what it means to finish a motor race. Speed is almost secondary to sheer, relentless endurance and discipline.
Exactly. Every single restart is a full-on sprint, with cold tires, a compressed field, and drivers who are desperate but also incredibly fatigued. My experience tells me this is where mistakes are most likely to happen, time and time again.
The resilience of the drivers still out there, managing to keep their machines on the track, is something truly remarkable to behold.
They are demonstrating an incredible level of mental fortitude. The winner today won't just be praised for their raw pace, they'll be lauded for conquering the most chaotic and unpredictable race imaginable. They will have earned every single bit of it.
This will undoubtedly be remembered as one of the most bizarre and incident-filled races in the history of the sport.
It's creating a legend, all right. A legend of disruption and sheer gut. You simply cannot plan for a race that refuses to settle into any kind of pattern.
The tension that hangs in the air with every safety car period is palpable, a constant build-up before another brief, frantic burst of action.
And the relief, for those who survive each restart clean, must be immense, even if only fleetingly, before the cycle inevitably begins again, it seems.
Good heavens, a 20-second safety car. This is
in. Every restart is a new challenge, a fresh battle with cold tires and a packed field, after you've just spent time cruising. It's an emotional roller coaster.
Any traditional race strategy has been utterly annihilated. It's pure, moment-to-moment survival and adaptation for every single driver still on track.
Absolutely. You're constantly trying to keep some heat in the brakes and tires, predicting when the next green flag will drop, and when the next incident will occur. It's a relentless test of quick thinking and car control.
The drivers who are still out there, managing to keep their powerful machines on the tarmac, are demonstrating an extraordinary level of discipline and resilience.
It speaks volumes about their character. The winner of this race won't just be the fastest on paper, they'll be the one who conquered the most chaotic and unpredictable conditions imaginable. They'll have earned a legendary status, in my opinion.
This Spa-Francorchamps 1966 event will undoubtedly be etched into the annals of motor racing as one of the most bizarre and incident-filled races in history.
It will, without a doubt. It's a race that refuses to settle, a constant ebb and flow of tension and release. You can feel the frustration, but also the sheer determination, from the drivers still fighting.
The tension with every safety car period, every time it pulls in, is absolutely palpable, a constant build-up before another brief, frantic burst of action.
And the pressure to not be the next one involved is immense. You're trying to push, but not too much. It's a very fine line, and frankly, a very exhausting one to walk repeatedly.
Good heavens, a 23rd safety car. This is simply beyond belief. The incidents are just utterly relentless here at Spa.
23 safety cars. This race is less about speed and more about sheer, brutal mental and physical endurance. Drivers must be absolutely running on fumes of frustration and pure will.
"23 safety cars. I'm struggling to articulate the sheer scale of chaos we're witnessing today, Sky. This is truly unprecedented."
This has to be the most demanding race mentally I've ever heard of. Every time you think you're getting into a rhythm, the safety car is out again, and you're back to square one, trying to manage cold tires and immense frustration.
Any race strategy devised before the green flag has been utterly annihilated. It's pure, moment-to-moment survival and improvisation for every driver still clinging on.
Exactly. You're constantly trying to predict the unpredictable, and that's an impossible task. My racing experience taught me that these stop-start races can be far more fatiguing than a flat-out sprint because your mind is never at rest.
The drivers who are still out there, managing to keep their powerful machines on the tarmac, are demonstrating an almost superhuman level of discipline and resilience.
It's about sheer willpower now. The winner of this race won't just be praised for their pace, they'll be lauded for conquering the most chaotic and unpredictable conditions imaginable. They will have battled more than just the competition today.
Spa-Francorchamps 1966 will forever be talked about as the race where the safety car was the star, an event defined by its relentless incidents.
Without a doubt, it's creating a unique chapter in motor racing history, one where raw speed took a backseat to ultimate composure and the ability to navigate constant peril. It's a truly bizarre spectacle.
The tension with every safety car period, every time it pulls in, is absolutely palpable, a constant build-up before another brief, frantic burst of action.
And the pressure on each driver to not be the next incident is immense. You're pushing hard, but always with that underlying fear of becoming a statistic in this crazy race. It's a high wire act, repeated 23 times.
Good heavens, a 24th safety car. This is simply beyond belief. The incidents are just utterly relentless here at Spa.
24 safety cars. This race has become a relentless, brutal test of mental fortitude. Drivers must be absolutely numb to the chaos, running on pure instinct and exasperation.
"24 safety cars. I'm genuinely struggling to find new words for this, Sky. This race is completely rewriting the history books for all the wrong reasons."
This has transcended normal racing. For a driver, it's a battle against utter fatigue and frustration. You're constantly having to bring the car back to the limit on cold tires after cruising behind the safety car, and that's incredibly draining mentally.
Any semblance of a traditional race strategy is long gone. It's pure, moment-to-moment survival, reacting to the next restart, and hoping to stay out of trouble.
Exactly. You simply cannot plan for this. My experience tells me that having the field bunched up this often, with drivers on edge, creates far more danger than sustained high-speed running. It's a high-stakes lottery every single time.
The drivers who are still out there, managing to keep their powerful machines on the tarmac, are demonstrating an almost superhuman level of discipline.
It's about sheer resilience now. The winner of this race, whoever that may be, will have conquered an unprecedented level of chaos. They'll be legends not for their pace, but for their sheer fortitude.
Spa-Francorchamps 1966 will surely be remembered as one of the most bizarre and incident-filled races in the history of the sport.
It's created a unique narrative, a race where the constant interruptions are the main event. It's an exhausting spectacle. Even from here, I can only imagine being in one of those cockpits.
The tension that hangs in the air with every safety car period is palpable, a constant build-up before another brief, frantic burst of action.
And the pressure on each driver to not be the next one involved is immense. You're pushing, but always with that underlying fear of becoming a statistic in this truly incredible race.
Good heavens, a 25th safety car. This is simply beyond belief. The incidents are just utterly relentless here at Spa.
25 safety cars. This race has become a brutal, unending test of mental endurance. Drivers must be absolutely running on fumes of frustration and pure will by now.
"25 safety cars. I'm struggling to find new adjectives, Sky. This race is completely redefining the very concept of motor racing."
This has to be the most mentally demanding race I've ever heard of, let alone driven in. Every restart is a new challenge, a fresh battle with cold tires and a packed field, after you've just spent time cruising. It's an emotional roller coaster.
Any traditional race strategy has been utterly annihilated. It's pure, moment-to-moment survival and adaptation for every single driver still on track.
Absolutely. You're constantly trying to keep some heat in the brakes and tires, predicting when the next green flag will drop, and when the next incident will occur. It's a relentless test of quick thinking and car control.
The drivers who are still out there, managing to keep their powerful machines on the tarmac, are demonstrating an extraordinary level of discipline and resilience.
It speaks volumes about their character. The winner of this race won't just be the fastest on paper, they'll be the one who conquered the most chaotic and unpredictable conditions imaginable. They'll have earned a legendary status, in my opinion.
This Spa-Francorchamps 1966 event will undoubtedly be etched into the annals of motor racing as one of the most bizarre and incident-filled races in history.
It will, without a doubt. It's a race that refuses to settle, a constant ebb and flow of tension and release. You can feel the frustration, but also the sheer determination from the drivers still fighting.
The tension with every safety car period, every time it pulls in, is absolutely palpable, a constant build-up before another brief, frantic burst of action.
And the pressure to not be the next one involved is immense. You're trying to push, but not too much. It's a very fine line, and frankly, a very exhausting one to walk repeatedly.
The unpredictability is the only thing we've been able to predict today.
And that's why it's so draining. You can't ever truly settle in, ever. It's a constant state of high alert.
It's a bizarre spectacle, seeing such powerful machines held in check for so much of the race.
And the toll on the cars, with this constant cooling and then pushing, is immense. It's not just the drivers being tested.
Good heavens, a 26th safety car. This is simply beyond belief. The incidents are just